Boardroom to the sweat of the locker room.
Every weekend, rain or shine, regardless of their means, Wigan folk turn out to cheer on their respective teams. One has 13 heroes who play by the riverside. The other club has 15, they wear black and gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all Wiganers salute the oval ball.
Wigan in Lancashire. It's the home of two of England's greatest rugby teams. But they can never play against each other because, nearly 100 years ago, the world of rugby split apart. One of the teams, based in the town's centre, is the world-famous professional club, Wigan Rugby League. The other, just 4 miles away on the edge of town, is the amateur rugby union club, Orrell.
We are the best. Have the confidence.
Tomorrow, Orrell will complete their most successful season ever in Rugby Union's gruelling club championship. The players' financial reward, nothing.
Martin, thanks a lot. Martin.
After winning their Rugby League Challenge Cup semi-final with a record-breaking score, Wigan are off to Wembley next Saturday for the cup final. And if they win, they'll be paid a bonus of at least £6,000 a man.
Yes. This will be the 5th year on the trot. We've been to Wembley, and it really is a dream come true. I don't think any of us in our wildest dreams could have thought that we'd make Wembley twice, certainly not 5 times, and we're absolutely thrilled to bits. Although, I must confess, at the beginning of the season, it certainly didn't look like that.
Back in September, Wigan's captain Ellery Hanley, who had led the team to 3 of its 4 successive Wembley wins, wouldn't sign a new contract with the club.
The thought of him leaving, it was dreadful. He's unique. He is probably the greatest competitor that's ever played the game. We made a new offer to him. He considered it, but he declined it, basically because he'd had a better offer from Leeds. Well, chaps, I thought we might just start by reviewing the Ellery Hanley situation. Obviously, having chatted on Sunday, we all know that he's actually gone. I just thought I might formally record the actual details. I kept in touch with you as best I could on Friday on a blow-by-blow basis. Yeah. The bottom line is that they finally increased their offer to £250,000. Asked us for stage payments. I resisted those as best I could, but there is a stage payment which you're aware of in it. I think we should all finally agree that we did our absolute best to keep him at the club. I know that no one round the table wanted him to go, but we were faced with an impossible situation. And so we had to make the best of it. And so time will tell whether £250,000 is the right figure or not.
The rugby union club Orrell had an even worse start to the season. They lost a former captain, president and chairman. Eric Smith, the man who had helped bring Orrell to the top of English rugby, died in August. He'd been a close friend and colleague of the team's coach, Des Seabrook, for 30 years.
It is a particularly sad personal loss for me, and I think the club, that at this time of the season, at the start of the season, we should lose the father figure, or Mr. Orrell as he was called, in Eric Smith. For a family club, we're going to have to pull together, because he was, as you might say, the head of the family. He was the one, he was the motivator, he was the one that got things done and had done for many, many years. And it is a sad loss.
It was his last wish that at the end of his days he would like to be buried, or his ashes to be buried, on the pitch.
Oh, that's smashing. That's fine. That's fine.
Sweet, thank you.
All right.
So they don't discolour.
Right.
Okay. We have entrusted our brother Eric to God's merciful keeping, and we now commit his ashes to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
It was our biggest disappointment last year where we didn't get to Twickenham, because it would have been, you know, in his last year, a tremendous boost to him. And, you know, we failed badly. And I think this year we would like to get to Twickenham, you know, and I think the spirit of Eric Smith is still there.
Across town, Wigan Rugby League has appointed a new captain, New Zealander Dean Bell, to replace Ellery Hanley. He's a far cry from the stereotyped image of a beer-swilling, rough-talking rugby player.
Now that my wife works, the roles have been reversed. I suppose I've become a house husband. Because most of our training is done at night. I'm the one responsible for doing the housework, getting tea ready and things like that. I don't mind it, you know, it's quite enjoyable, it's different.
On the field, his nickname is Mean Dean. He has one of the fiercest competitive spirits that you'll find, as strong as Ellery Hanley's, but different, totally different to Ellery.
They call you Mean Dean. Explain.
Mean Dean. Oh, I don't know how I get that, really. I'm a bit of a softie. I suppose. You know, I go out every game and I play at 100%, you know, every game. It's a team game. If we didn't all pull together in the same direction, we'd be on a losing side more than we would be a winning side. And over the past 5 years since I've been here, we've won a lot more games than we've lost.
Sunday, September the 8th, Wigan versus Widnes. It's the first home league match of the season, and the pressure is on Dean Bell and his teammates to prove that Wigan can win without the extraordinary skills of Ellery Hanley.
It seems but a short while since Ellery Hanley was holding the cup aloft at the end of last season. Ellery, who then was known as the King. Unfortunately now, Ellery Hanley is with us no more. So today, Wigan have to take the field without his genius. Wigan then in this tussle of the Titans, kicking off deep into the in-goal area. The line of defence moving up quickly as the forwards come tearing out strongly. And no doubt that in these opening minutes there's going to be a great battle between these forwards. A high kick from Edwards is dangerous. It's loose. Wigan flick it out. Lydon goes for the corner. Referee gives it. Widnes couldn't take it cleanly. Widnes lost, spilled it out. Wigan have possession. Can they get it going? Trying to throw the ball loose, and the touch judge is on. Wigan player flattened. Touch judge is on.
The flattened player is Dean Bell. For him, like all rugby league players, injuries are an occupational hazard.
You don't really feel the pain at first. I mean, you feel a bit of pain when he's stitching you up, but I suppose the pain doesn't really come till after the game, when you've cooled down, when the adrenaline stopped flowing.
Okay. Right up there, we've seen that. There's the flush. Just close your eyes and open it up again.
Under the rule known as the blood bin, The team doctor has only 10 minutes to stop any bleeding, stitch Bell up, and get him back on the pitch.
As well.
10 stitches later, Dean Bell rejoins his teammates.
I see my role on the field as trying to be an inspiration to my teammates. You know, if they see their captain leading by example, that will inspire them to do the same.
Myers from behind to play the ball, moves it inside onto Dean Bell. And they're throwing everything except the kitchen sink at each other. Edwards takes it, hoists a high, difficult ball towards the corner flag. It's bouncing awkwardly and over towards the corner flag. And it looks like Botica, and that must have sealed it. There goes the hooter. Tremendous roar goes up. A fantastic game of rugby league football between Wigan and Widnes ends with the final score. Wigan 26, Widnes 18.
When your wife saw you at the breakfast table, what did she think?
Well, I mean, the first reaction was that she was going to go and get a paper bag, you know, put over my head. But, I mean, you know, I suppose she's used to it too. So, I mean, I've been quite lucky. I haven't had too many bad injuries. But things like this, they're very rare. And, you know, I wouldn't like to think that it puts people off from playing the game.
For Simon Langford, the Rugby Union game's just as dangerous. He runs his own advertising agency, plays for Orrell in his spare time, and hopes to keep his first team place for the 13th year running.
I've had a few injury problems over the years. In the last 12 months, my knee's not been so good, so you have to try and overcome that problem. But I will try to achieve the level of fitness that is required from the coaches there to retain my place from last season. But that's my ambition, obviously, is first and foremost is to get into the side.
Pre-season training at Orrell.
Ready, now!
This year, Rugby Union's club championship has been delayed by the World Cup, so next Saturday's game against Bristol is just a friendly.
Okay, knock him on his arse. Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
Even so, Orrell are determined to win, to start the real season full of confidence.
Anything?
Just a creaking.
I know. But there's no soreness when you do that.
There's a little bit, a very little bit. A little bit at the end after I'd done it.
How you fix this week with regard to work?
I had a cartilage out when I was 16, and basically it's the ache and pain of the bone banging against bone, and it causes some inflammation there, and there will be some pain with it, but that's something you have to suffer.
Professionally, I have advised Simon that he shouldn't be playing if he wants a healthy body in later life. What you do for somebody in that instance is make them aware of the situation they're in now. You try and make them aware of the situation in which they may find themselves, but the ultimate choice is that of the player. He's been seen by a consultant, he's seen his own x-rays, he knows the state of his joints, and it is his choice to continue playing.
Sammy Southern is Orrell's veteran captain.
Hello, Simon. Sammy, how are you? So your knee's okay? Very good. You spoke to Sarah? That's all right. You'll be fit for Bristol. That's good, because we need to win this one. All right? Okay. I'll see you soon. All right. Bye, Simon. I'd class Simon as if you were the backbone of the side. He's always there through thick and thin, and he's he's one of the players who really puts his body on the line. Purely and simply, I think, for his mates as much as anything else. And both on and off the field, he's very important to the side.
There's bound to be one day that you're not going to be picked. There's now a lot more competition at the club, and it's up to me to compete with that competition. But I certainly wouldn't back him without a fight.
We did miss it once.
You got some studs with you?
Yes, sure have, yeah.
They're very serious immediately before the game. Because some of them have rituals that they go through, sort of habits and that they feel they have to do. There's quite a lot of superstition in the dressing room. Things like, you know, which sock you put on first, which boot you put on first. Little things like that that are probably quite silly if you look at them, but mean a lot, because it gets that player in the right frame of mind to go out and do what they have to do on the pitch.
We've got to get it between our ears what we're doing, what the objective is, right? What the aim is, individually and collectively, right? It's going to be a long, hard way to the end of the season, right? And it starts this week, getting it ready for next week, right? We've got to do it. We've got to do it. Thinking about what it's going to be fucking hard. There's going to be a lot of graft, a lot of blood and a lot of sweat. We've got to, let me see him. We've got to do it, all right? We've got to bust a gut. We pin it on. I keep giving you names. There's Langford and Clevo. They take the fucking heart out and they pin it on the end of the fucking shirt. Now, come on, things have changed. We're not going to run about it here. We've done all the stretching off. Everybody's warm. Everybody knows what they've got to do.
Three evenings a week and every Saturday afternoon, from the start of September to the end of April, physiotherapist Sarah Booth devotes herself to Orrell rugby. During matches, she watches every move, every tackle, every fall.
You're looking around the pitch and making sure that all the players are on their feet, and if somebody's limping, to what degree. You know, I expect players to go down, you know, it's a rough game, but you just make sure they get up, and if there's something very obviously serious, you get on there and deal with it.
Simon, what are you shouting for?
These gappers, fucked.
Do you want to stay on or are you coming off?
Can't run.
OK.
If Simon is to come off, a substitute player must go on. Sarah tells the coaches on the Orrell bench.
Simon wants off. Simon wants off.
He wants off?
Yeah.
Why?
He said he can't run with his knee.
Oh, Billy.
Mike, warm up. Strip off and warm up.
He's coming off.
Simon. Simon, I can't keep running on it. Are you coming off? Oh. Well, I can't stand in the middle of the pitch. Ref, sir. His leg, it's an old injury.
Okay, mate, you're going to be walk with it. Get a replacement on?
Yeah.
There are certain days when you feel it and you think, I'm making the right decision, continue to play. But if you get enough enjoyment out of it, that's what's important. And you don't know what's around the corner when you're 35. They might have introduced a plastic knee that can be adaptable by then, so you can get over those hurdles.
Put arms to your side. Put your arms to it, hold it on.
Side. Just like a direction, is it now?
The Orrell replacement for Simon Langford is Mike Barton.
Orrell managed to hold Bristol to a 3-3 draw. It's enough to justify a celebration.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
Despite the pain in his knee, Simon now inflicts pain on his teammates by leading the karaoke on the 4-hour drive all the way back up north.
I've learned
Over at Wigan Rugby League, they have a new captain, but they still need an outstanding player to fill Ellery Hanley's position on the field.
Well, I'm off to Australia in about a week's time. I'm hoping to bring back a world-class player to replace Ellery Hanley and strengthen the side. It's difficult because, of course, Ellery only decided to leave the club almost at the beginning of the season. Has left us hardly any time at all to locate a player of his standard. We didn't even know what position we should be looking for until Ellery made his mind up.
Maurice Lindsay wants to sign up an Australian Rugby League star named Gene Miles. Wigan coach John Money, also an Australian, knows Miles well.
Just thought I'd better have a chat to you about Gene. What are your thoughts there? Because obviously Gene can play in the back row, and he can also probably do a centre's job over here. Great for you.
Well, I've always been a Miles fan. He's been the captain of the Broncos for the last season and a half. He was the captain of the year in the Sydney Premiership. He's played in the forwards. And the other thing that I've got in my head with Gene Miles is if we could sign him, we could bring him over here and play him in the backs.
I think also he'll have a great... If we sign Gene, he'd have a big influence on the club, wouldn't it?
Well, he would. And
he's such a good, honest bloke, isn't it?
He is. Well, you know, he'd be great for the club.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would. And while you're in surface, stay away from the bikini girls and have a swim for me.
Brisbane, Australia, October 1991.
Any normal person would have to have rocks in their heads to be leaving the weather like this and to be going over there. But, you know, it's a commitment I've made, and, you know, it really is only for 7.5 months, and, you know, I'll be back in this, bathing in this beautiful sunshine in that time. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to the challenge over there.
We'll take that with us. It'll be better, huh?
Everything happened so quickly. It was this time last week I still didn't know what I was doing. And then Maurice popped into town, Maurice Lindsay, and you know, we sorted things out pretty quickly. He was pretty keen to get me, and he certainly convinced me that my future lay in England.
Gee, come here and sit up on here and help Dad. Push down. Push down.
I just hope they don't expect that I step off the plane and set the world on fire straight away, because I arrive on Thursday morning and I'm expected to train Thursday night and turn out for their club on Sunday. So let's just hope the fans give me maybe 3 weeks to a month just to settle in and acclimatise, and I'll really start enjoying my football.
The prospect of your second child being born a Pong, how does that grab you?
Yeah, made in Australia, born in Britain. Yeah, that'll be very different, but you know, he or she'll only be 4 months old, and we'll get her out of there anyway.
Gene, how's Debbie adjusting towards?
Well, we're just about to find that out. This will be the hardest spot for her, saying goodbye to her family.
Close it in for this, John.
All right, get us nice and close.
All right.
Because if I kiss him, you want to get it.
Oh, you want. That's lovely. Smash it.
Okay, thank you.
Amid much publicity in the local press, Australian Rugby League star Gene Miles has arrived in Wigan. But he plays in only one match before he's injured in training. His is just one of a spate of injuries. Sean Edwards breaks a rib in the match against Featherstone. Even though he's fractured his wrist, Andy Gregory is still playing. Frano Bottica's ankle is in plaster, and university student Phil Clark has a depressed fracture of the sternum. He's being strapped up for a fitness test before Sunday's match.
That's good hit. That's a good hit. That's a good hit.
He might have a sore chest,
That's a good hit, mate. That's a good hit.
but there are compensations.
Two more, huh? Let's go two more.
Phil is probably one of the few students in Britain who earns more than his professors.
Good hit, mate. Good hit. Good hit. Okay, one more. Okay, mate. Let's go again.
He's declared fit for the season's most important game so far, against Leeds.
I'd like to see them blast them off the park. I'd like to come back for once in my life a smug director and just shake hands with the Leeds directors and say, tough luck. It's going to be a very competitive match, but I'll have my fingers crossed for the 80 minutes that we come out the winners, and I don't care whether it's by 1 point or by 40.
It's still early in the season, but Wigan have already lost against Castleford, St Helens and Wakefield Trinity. For Wigan's new captain, Dean Bell, it's a heavy responsibility and the pressure is on.
In bad times, I've just got to make sure everybody's minds are on the job. If I think things are getting a bit slack, I've just got to bring everybody together and let them know I'm not happy.
Last one, Dennis.
You're giving up on 300, Dennis. Leeds have always been one of Wigan's main opponents, and we're predicting a very hard game as usual, and we expect no favours off them.
Next week's 5-3.
I'll lead by example, hopefully like I normally do, and just hopefully my players will follow me.
Jog it up to the halfway line, lads, and then we'll jog it back down this end. We'll warm up down here. Conditions absolutely appalling. Snow earlier on, the rain still belting down. This game has been billed as the greatest struggle so far this season. Away we go. Ford banged down in the very first battle of the game. Goulding to feed. And Goulding gets it onto Schofield. Schofield, little overhead kick. Ford chasing it. He could well win this chase. Ford, he should be there. And there's the opening try to Ford. Set up by Schofield. Comes on to Gregory. Gregory dummying it. And Wigan have dropped the ball. And Ford's going for the line. He's got to score. Well, this is going to be a gift of 6 points as Ford goes over. There goes the hooter. The final score, Wigan 0, Leeds 19.
I take it very personal, my game. If I don't think I've performed at a certain level, I feel very dejected. And, you know, if my personal performance is not up to scratch, you know, I can't sort of live with myself.
Next week, what can Wigan Rugby League do to stop the rot?
Injuries and financial uncertainty.
Every weekend, rain or shine, regardless of their means, Wigan folk turn out to cheer on their respective teams. One has 13 heroes who play by the riverside. The other club has 15, they wear black and gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the oval ball.
Wigan Rugby League have had a less than spectacular start to the season. They've lost 5 important matches and all the players are feeling the pressure. But there is one man who could turn the tide for Wigan, Martin Afire, the star winger of another leading club, Widnes. Afire also plays for Great Britain, and during the last 4 seasons he's been the league's top try scorer. But since the start of this season, He's been in dispute with Widnes and hasn't played a game. Throughout November, there's been speculation in the town that Afire will be put on the transfer list. But would Wigan be able to buy him?
Martin Afire? Good morning, Martin. It's John Bent. Are you in a position to speak to me, Martin? Mm-hmm. I understand. Maurice Lindsay at Wigan is saying nothing, but have you heard any further developments regarding your transfer request, Martin? Oh, you don't know what's happening at Widnes. Martin, you're obviously anxious to get back into rugby league as quickly as possible. And particularly into the Great Britain side, with a view to making the Australian tour next summer. Yeah, that's your biggest frustration, Martin. Can I quote you? Yeah. Thank you very much for speaking to me. Thank you. Bye. He says he's unaware of what the Widnes Committee are going to do. He feels that they're trying to keep him there at all costs. And he's just in limbo.
Days later, Martin Afire is out of limbo, and Wigan chairman Maurice Lindsay breaks the news to coach John Money.
I just wanted to tell you, it might be good news, but it might be a bit of a mind blower as well. Just had a phone call. This morning, Widnes have put Martin Afire on the transfer list. Officially.
Well, yeah, you know what I think about it. I mean, they don't come along all that often. I mean, we're going to have to pay more than we should.
This is the bit I've got to tell you now. Can't believe it, but they put him on at £700,000. Now, I'm not sure whether, therefore, he intends to sell him or not. I mean, that could mean £700,000 everybody keep away and sending a message to Martin that you better get your boots back on because you're going to play for Widnes.
What's that in Australian terms? About $2 million?
$2 million, yeah. We'll have to leave it for a little while. If we just jump straight on the phone, it'll look as though we're anxious to pay any price. So I think that what'll happen, it'll be the typical thing of Dougie Lawton and everybody else saying it's a crazy fee, we're not interested. And we'll have to say the same, and we wouldn't be at that fee. Yeah. But if you really want him, and I know from talking to the past you will say that, we will make the best effort we possibly can.
Well, it's good news for the club, isn't it? It's good news for the town, and I mean, if with losing Ellery this season, if we could put somebody like Martin Afire on the end of our back line, anything could happen. You know, we'd be right back in the race. We'd be right back in the hunt, and you know, they'd really have to beat us in.
But Wigan cannot afford Martin Afire at the asking price. The club has built a new stand, and construction costs have gone way over budget. Like the stand, Wigan's accounts are firmly in the red.
We have a duty as the directors of the club to ensure that the club doesn't get into a position of insolvency. And so the directors need to be able to add up and do their sums, and that's my job. Having said that, the supporters of the club don't care if you're in debt, providing it's manageable and controllable. What they really want to see is the team on the field on the day performing well. It's a catch-22 situation. You go heavily into debt by building a new stand, then you need to spend money on the team to keep it winning to afford to pay the debt on the new stand. Hi, Jack. I'll just sling my coat in the bag.
Before he can even start negotiations to buy Martin Afire, Maurice Lindsay must visit the club accountant for an up-to-date financial report.
OK, Vince, I think with everything that's going on with the stand, etc., we better review the finances and you better give me an up-to-date situation.
Well, Maurice, as you know, 12 months ago, we were in a very healthy situation, but we were committed to the stand, which has gone some £800,000 over budget. Prior to commencing the stand, we had money on the money market, as you're aware. But fortunately, the bank have backed us with the stand, and so have the brewery. We've got support there, but the 800,000 over budget has put substantial strains on our resources at the present time.
In the short term, of course, you've got to still look at investment in the team. and you know that there's the situation at the moment concerning Martin of Fire. Now, if we were to buy Martin of Fire, that of course gives us additional capital requirements. But I understand that the sponsor is prepared to help us in that area. They would be keen to have Martin of Fire linked to them, so that should assist matters. Now, we sold Ellery Hanley. Just remind me, what are the dates for the payments from Leeds? When is the money due and the balance?
Well, we've only a final payment due now, which is due on the 1st of February. In addition to that, we have a payment due on Bobby Goulding as well. So some £90,000 to £100,000 coming
to come from Leeds, because both players went on a sort of an extended payment agreement. You've just received a second payment for Ellery Hanley. That was the 1st of December, was it?
Right.
So you've swallowed that up.
I'm afraid so.
Okay, and that's gone into the general flow of things. Okay, I'll keep you up to date, Vince. In the meantime, just keep the chequebook firmly locked away, and if anybody wants to go out and buy 2 Martin of Fires, we'll have to tell them, well, we probably can't afford 1, but we'll still do our best.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Vince. Okay, no problem.
Away he goes, he beats Gary Jack, he's going to score!
Wigan desperately need a player with Martin of Fire's talents. Their new Australian star, Gene Miles, was injured in training just after his first match and has been out of the game for 4 weeks.
Well, it's getting more frustrating every day. You know, I've dragged my family halfway across the world to play rugby league, and you know, only being able to play you know, 3 games out of the last 6 or whatever it has been you know, the expectations of the Wigan Rugby League Club is win at all costs, and they become very accustomed to winning. Well, I haven't been the best person to live with over the last few weeks. Things aren't real rosy on the home front.
In the bar, quick.
Gene felt very down, very disappointed and frustrated, I think. He possibly was a little hard to live with for a while, and very quiet. And when there's only 3 of you in the house and 2 aren't talking, it is sort of very lonely.
While Gene Miles copes with his domestic duties, his teammates are training hard in the cold November night. At this level, players can earn up to £80,000 a year. But as Wigan captain Dean Bell knows, it's not a long career.
Rugby league has given me a good life. Without rugby league, you know, I'd probably be, you know, stuck in a factory working all hours and taking home a very small wage. I know at some stage my career is going to finish, and at the moment things are going along nicely. I'm 29 years of age, and realistically I suppose I've got another 4 or 5 years in the game. But all of a sudden that money stops. As soon as you stop playing, you know, how am I going to pay the mortgage? You know, what am I going to do next? Where's the money coming from? Previously, you know, a lot of players they get all this money coming in while they're playing, and a lot of them haven't thought about the future. They've just sort of lived from day to day, you know, and it's been good while it lasted, but they haven't really looked ahead.
Eager to secure his own future beyond the playing field, Dean Bell has been investing part of his income in women's clothing. A fashion shop run by his English wife, Jackie.
Dean and I have just opened this shop, and we've been open about 5 weeks now, and we hope that it will eventually set us up for the future. It could all end tomorrow if there was a serious injury or something, and you just have to look to the future.
Do you worry about injuries?
Yes, I do. Sometimes, you know, they seem to come in spurts where they get a lot all at once, which Dean's had a lot of cuts and bruises and things, but luckily he's not been too injured, you know, with serious injuries.
Injuries are a constant worry, and not just for medical reasons. In rugby league, except for a small basic wage, the player's deal is no play, no pay. And in this game, as Dean well knows, injury is inevitable.
I've lost some ligaments in my knee at some stage of my career. I've had 2 cartilage operations, I've had an operation on my fingers. I've had various cuts and stitches. I've had a hernia, and I've recently had rib cartilage damage. So, really, I mean, I consider myself to be quite lucky. Some other people mightn't, but there's a lot worse injuries that keep players out for a long time, and I've been quite lucky that mine haven't been too serious.
The time has now come for Maurice Lindsay to open negotiations with the Widnes chairman to buy Martin Offiah.
Oh, hello. May I speak to Mr. Mills, please? Mr. Jim Mills. It's Maurice Lindsay, Wigan Rugby League Club. Hi, Jim. Maurice. Fine, thanks, mate. And you? Very good. Listen, you can probably guess why I'm ringing. But I don't really have an offer to put to you, but I just wondered what your real thoughts are. Yeah? Yeah, I understand that. But obviously at 700,000, nobody's really going to move either, Jim. Mm-hmm. I know he's a one-off. Yep, I accept all that, but the fact remains that, you know, at the end of the day, somebody's got to sign a cheque, and when you sign a cheque, you're supposed to have money in the bank. Yeah. Well, look, I've registered our interest. You know that well, about 8 weeks ago now, we told you that we'd have passed on the Ellery Hanley money straight away. We've actually spent some of that now. We bought Billy McGinty and Neil Cowie. But we could still probably manage $250,000 if it was of any interest to you. All right, I accept that. But whatever happens, we're in. We'd like to keep talking to you, Jim. So if you just keep me informed of how the negotiations are going with anyone, and if we can come out number one, we'll certainly make every effort to. That's great. I'll keep in touch. Thanks, Jim. Take care, mate. Bye.
They're just different today, oh.
Yeah, but it seems to be sore up higher, like.
Thanks, Sam.
Hey, Morris. See Jean's in the treatment room.
Well, you won't believe it after what he's done, and then when we're doing the warm-ups, he just slipped over and he's hurt his groin again. So he's had his thigh injury, and now his groin's not real good. So he's possibly going to miss this game, and he might even miss another one. I mean, he can't take a trick.
So he's missed a month.
Yeah.
And he could be missing who knows with the groin. Is it torn?
I mean, yeah, it is. But I know everybody's getting really, you know, they're starting to get on his back a little bit, and the players are getting stuck into him a bit. But I mean, nobody feels worse than Jean does. So,
Yeah.
So you know, I don't know whether you want to talk to him. I've just told him that, you know, we need him fit, don't we? Yeah. That's the main thing.
Well, listen, mate, I know what he'll be going through. He's come over in a blaze of publicity. He's played, I don't think he's played 100 minutes of football. And it'll be worrying him. Debbie's got the baby coming. He's bound to be under massive pressure. Just tell him, please, mate, don't worry about a thing, right? We know he's a class act. And the last thing he needs is to think he's under pressure from us. He's not.
Tuesday, 3rd of December. The Wigan Board of Directors hold their weekly meeting.
Well, obviously, gentlemen, I suppose we'd better talk about the Martin Offiah situation. Obviously, from our discussion over the weekend, you're up to date, but just to confirm that I did, again, speak to Jim Mills. He said that the original fee of 700,000 is probably unrealistic, and he would, therefore, be prepared to reduce that to 500,000, which obviously I said was unrealistic as well, and beyond our reach, considerably beyond our reach. He said that they are pretty desperate for cash themselves. I said, I know how you feel. And the the door is open, but there isn't really very much progress. They're obviously hoping to get as much as they possibly can by hoping that 2 or 3 clubs will get into competition. Yeah. So how far are we prepared to go, or are we prepared to go at all?
It'd be a great signing for us.
That's right.
I start feeling excited at the very thought of him, you know, coming, if it was possible.
I think when we take ourselves back and we went for the amazing signing of Ellery, £150,000 was a fortune in those days, and it probably gave us a few sleepless nights, didn't it? Yeah. But A, look at the way our gates went up, and B, look at the priceless excitement that we've had along with the spectators.
Hey, scarce commodities. Price is always up on a scarce commodity, and obviously a fire is one of those commodities, isn't he?
He's a one-off, isn't he?
One-off, very scarce. Once in a lifetime, I suppose, really.
So we'll hang on in there. That's the message from around the table tonight, isn't it? We're all aware that money is short, particularly in view of the fact that we've built the stand. Yeah. We're probably in a more difficult situation than we've ever been. Equally, we know that they're going to hang out for the last farthing, aren't they? Because they're only going to sell him once. So we shall just do everything we can to try and pull off a sensible deal.
If there's any chance of signing him at all, we've got to be there. We've got to have a go. I mean, he's world class. You know, even though he's expensive, we've got to have a go. And I think that's, we all feel the way, that same way, don't we?
We've always bought the best for the spectators and for the town, haven't we? It's always been our policy. Only the best is good enough for Wigan.
After another 3 weeks off, Gene Miles has at last been declared fit to play in today's match against Hull.
Well, after many hours at the physiotherapist, I'm finally ready to make my long-awaited comeback. It's been a very frustrating last few weeks. You know, it's at a very important stage of the year for us. It's leading into Christmas, so you know this is when the championship's won. So you know, hopefully we can get a bit of a roll on and keep our supporters very happy.
Atta girl.
Where's John going, Tegan?
Football. Football.
It's rugby.
He's called the rugby.
Rugby. See you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye now.
See ya. Kiss for them. Kiss. Cuddle.
Cuddle.
Okay. Okay. See ya. See ya.
All right. Hi, girls.
How are you?
What's up? You have any photograph taken?
Where's your mother?
Well, she's not too clever at the moment. You didn't frighten her off, did you?
Well, listen, we give her a cuddle, can't we?
You weren't swearing, were you?
No, it wasn't me.
You weren't swearing at the referee?
Would we do a thing like that at the referee?
Yes.
You got him, Mum. I can't tell you what she said, though. No, we gave her a cup of tea, didn't we?
And
we told her
she loved it. She loved it.
Coming again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to come in back to the home swearing and shouting and carrying on.
No, you will.
She will. All right. Yes, oh yes. She puts me in. Hello, John. Hello, Mike. You all right, lad? Yes. I'm great, thanks, mate.
All the best.
Thanks, mate. All right. Well, we've got 1 or 2 missing again today, but we're doing our best. All right.
I'm every confidence in him.
Thanks, love.
While the new grandstand may be giving Morris more than just financial problems, if his team beat Hull today, Wigan could be back on track for a 3rd successive League and Cup double.
Wigan having won the toss, then it will be Hull with the backs to the cop, kicking off down to the new stand area. High one, bit short of the line, taken cleanly. Wigan coming hard away in these early moments, forcing the way into the Hull 25. Taking a long time to get the ball played, and Wigan not moving it away well from the... And now they're driving for the line!
Oh, what a try! What did we just say as well?
Out to Edwards. Edwards dumbing with it. Clark turning round. Wigan going to be in trouble, and Wigan are nearly through here. Can they keep it going out? They got Surgeon for the line, turning it into the middle. On to...
Sean Edwards' try puts Wigan 16 points to 6 ahead. The match is going well in the second half when captain Dean Bell is injured yet again.
And Bell, who must have lost pints of blood this season, he looks like an exercise in tapestry. He's taken a lot of hammer and he's spilt a lot of blood. Hard man, Dean Bell. Can take it as well as dish it out.
The Dean Bell horror show.
Dean Bell surgery.
You've been doing this quite a bit, haven't you?
I am. all for the wrong reasons. I feel depressed when I'm injured, not because of the injury. It's because I think I'm letting my teammates down. I just want the doc to hurry up so I can get back there and help my teammates out. Should just have a zipper on here, Doc.
Ball's been dropped. That should be Wigan's. Wigan snatch it up. Turn defence into attack as they try to get it out to Myers on the wing. Wigan going for the line. They've got to score! And from a loose ball.
That sounds like us, Keith.
Sorry, Dean.
You're punching me there.
Just a bit.
Now it's up tight as Cowie. And Cowie's getting it moving, and Wigan got O'Donnell coming away. Great run by O'Donnell, flicks it inside. Wigan keeping it going. Lobbed out. Can he get it out onto the wing as Wigan still driving forward? Oh, what power! The crowd love that.
Is that it?
Yeah. Right, pal. Come on.
Come on, jog it back. It'll lift everybody up anyway. But
Come on, let's see if we can do it.
I'll put him some more in there. Have a go.
I suppose I was brought up quite hard by my father. He always used to tell me, never come off a rugby pitch unless you're carried off.
Yeah.
How about I could do without?
We're into injury time, so we might as well bang it over. It's 22 points to 12. Well, that's keeping Bottica's tally up. Another goal for him. There goes the hooter. And Wigan will be glad to have another 2 points as they fight their way towards the championship. The final score then, Wigan 24, Hull 12.
No, it's not at all. Right.
Fucking beauty. I'll have a look at it, actually. I hate this moment. Oh!
You're lucky you're married.
Still good looking. Still good looking.
Dean.
Yo.
You'll be the ugliest father Christmas in Wigan this week.
Hey, I'll be one of the richest.
I thought it was a tremendous game today. I thought in the first half we were really going to romp home. It'd be 90-0 for Wigan. But Hull came back in the second half and they made a really good match of it. The guest, no, our guest of today.
Every home game, the sponsor chooses one Wigan player as man of the match. It's often more a sign of encouragement than any strict judgment of who's been the best player on the day.
I'd now like to make the presentation of the man of the match. Norway's choice of man of the match to Dean Bell. Sorry. Dean Bell.
Dean. Thank you very much to Norbert and David. This certainly is appreciated, but more importantly for me, from a personal point of view, it's nice to be back on the pitch, and to put consecutive games together is very satisfying for me. I must thank the coach personally. He's been a great support, and also the directors of the club, and of course the players. They've been supporting me ever since I arrived here, and it's really been great, and I'm starting to enjoy myself. So thank you very much.
A few days after the Hull game, Jean's son Leon is born. For his wife Debbie, life in Wigan is beginning to look a little less grim.
I did wonder at one stage if it was the right move we had made, but as time went on, you know, it got better and better. Jean was named man of the match, and I just thought it was very nice when they presented him with that award.
Good morning. How are you? Good. There's my little Pommy.
He's
good. I think we've been getting a little bit of special treatment because of our association with the Wigan Rugby Club. All the sisters and the midwives are all mad Wigan supporters. So Liam has been getting a little bit of special treatment, which is great.
January the 4th, 1992. Maurice Lindsay announces that Wigan has finally bought Martin Offiah for a world record fee.
Morning, gentlemen. The deal was clinched with Big Jim finally between 4 and 4:30 yesterday. The fee is correctly reported at £440,000, and Martin has agreed a deal with the club which will take him up until 95.
Next week, a crisis on the other side of town, at Orrell Rugby Union, as two players battle for the same position.
Regardless of their means, Wigan folk turn out to cheer on their respective teams. One has 13 heroes who play by the riverside. The other club has 15, they wear black and gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the oval ball.
Drive to the middle, boy. Drive, let's have four.
Hold straight here. October 1991, the start of the Rugby Union Club Championship season. A row is threatening to split the leading First Division team, Orrell. Two top players both want to play in the same position, stand off or fly half. One is Martin Strett. He's been with Orrell for just 4 years.
Since I started playing at the age of 8, I've just always played stand-off. I've dabbled in the centre when I was younger, but ever since then, it's just been my position sort of thing.
The other player is 28-year-old Jerry Ainscough, who's been with the club since he was a teenager. He believes he's got a good chance of being selected for England, but only at stand-off, a position from which a skilled player can dictate the entire game.
Well, it doesn't look like the club are going to pick me at stand-off. They're going to insist on playing me at centre, so it looks like I'm going to have to move, I think.
You're going to have to move?
Well, I think so, yeah. I mean, it's not really doing me any good carrying on playing centre. It's everybody's ambition to play for England, but I'm not going to play for the A team at centre. You know, I've nothing against Martin personally, because I get on quite well with him. But it's not a professional sport, so you should be free to choose where you want to play, and if the club won't play you, then it's up to me to move.
I think if we had to be honest, we would like to be able to play the both of them, but if both of them are playing for the number 10 shirt, then, you know, we will make a decision who will play, and, you know, I think we've got to be fair to both of them, and I think we will be.
Good morning, Wigan Observer.
John Benn, the Wigan Observer's rugby correspondent, has no doubt which man Orrell should play at stand-off or fly half.
For me, there's no comparison which is the better player. I mean, Jerry is a player of skill and flair, and for me, he's far the better player. Far the better player.
Jerry would make a better fly half.
Oh, I've no doubt in my mind. No, and nor have the majority of the supporters either.
On Saturday afternoon, was it Saturday afternoon? No. Yeah, Saturday afternoon in here, Jerry came to me on about only wants to play standoff.
Jerry?
In score. In retrospect, he was obviously hanging
4th of November, 1991. The row hits Orrell's selection committee as they're choosing the team for the next game.
Only wants to play at standoff. He's got, I don't know if you've heard, he's had a chat with Des and Sammy before. He thinks he has a chance for England. So he only wants to play at standoff. And he rang me again at home this evening to remind me of what he'd said. He doesn't want to play anywhere else other than standoff. Not helpful to the club, which I made it clear what I thought about it on Thursday night. This evening on the phone, I just said, OK, Jerry, I've not forgotten you. What do you think about it?
I really don't think he's our best fly half.
We've just had a chat now.
We've just had a chat about it before we came in.
What we said was that if Stretty at this moment in time, we think when he hits form, is our best standoff.
I think it's sad from our point of view, but you know what I mean. If that's what the fella said he wants to do, then you know we've got to pick him though. We've got to pick him in the side that we think he's going to play at. But from my point of view, I don't think it gives us our best side.
No, I don't. Not said nothing to me. So he probably knows what I'd say anyway. He amazes me, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's selfish in a way, isn't it, really? But, you know, we're stuck with it.
Despite their resentment of Ainsco's demands, the selection committee grudgingly agrees. They drop Martin Strett for Saturday's friendly match against Bristol. The job of telling Strett falls to captain Sammy Southern. It's a task he doesn't relish.
When you've played on a Saturday afternoon and you've gone through the rough and the good bits and the bad bits, that when you've got to come and tell somebody on a Monday night that I'm sorry you're not in the side because for whatever reason, then it's very hard. And I know I've been there myself, it's not nice when you don't make the team. Listen, we've put Jerry at standoff. You've not been dropped or anything, you're in second team, basically because you've been out bench for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, he's had a word with Des, he wants to play.
I believe so,
standoff. But next week, you'll be back. Standoff, all right. So, I had a chat to you before about that, so don't read nothing into it. All right, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Where are we at then?
I think you're at home against Headingley. All right, so, all right. We'll have a chat after. All right, all right. Okay. Cheers, Jerry.
You've been dropped from the first team. Jerry Ainsco's taking your place this week for standoff. How do you feel?
Well, it's never very nice to get dropped, is it? But the worst thing I could do is go off sulking now. I've just got to knuckle down and come back twice as hard, really. It's all down to me. I've just got to shut my critics up. It's as simple as that. I've just got to get on with the job.
At the Bristol match, Jerry Ainscough plays well and kicks a penalty. But for the next match, the selectors suggest ringing the changes, playing Strett as stand-off and moving Ainscough to centre. They know it's a decision not likely to be met with universal agreement.
I can see some things happening here which I don't want to see happen. Like a big split.
Who will?
Well, it's just various factions. You know, obviously when we've got such a strong squad, that everyone thinks they're as good as the others, aren't they? Then some of it all start moving away, you know, Cleats appear and I'm as good as him.
The thing with each and Ash is different. I mean, Ash is...
No, he's got to have a word.
No, nobody's talking place. Talking individual moans and groans. We're not, not going off into kind of clusters here and there and...
You're bound to get that when some people are, you know, are not in the side. You can't, as I told them at the start of the season, you can't please everybody all the bloody time. There's no way you can do that. So at the end of the day, if one or two people
You're always
say...
going to get your rush reaction immediately after. Yeah, that first hour.
One or two people at the end of the day, I don't want to drive anybody away from it, but if eventually one or two say, well, I'm better than her, I've won bloody play, I can't stop them from bloody going. I will persuade them not to, try my best. But at the end of the day, if they're going to be like that, they might as well piss off.
The team list for the next match is posted, and Stret is playing standoff. For Jerry Ainscough, it's the final straw. His letter of resignation is addressed to the Orrell chairman of selectors, Alec Hurst.
Des, Alec, I've got the letter we're expecting here tonight. Met me when I came in from Jerry. Yeah. Well, it's the obvious one, really. Want me to read it to you? Dear sirs, it's to us all, obviously. It's with great regret that I'm informing you I'm leaving the club to join Leicester. That came as a bit of a surprise to me. I was a bit, wasn't actually certain about that. Recent circumstances have forced me into this action, which I never envisaged would happen. Although I'm obviously grateful to the club, I've given many hours and much effort to help put Orrell where they are currently, haven't we all? I've moved to centre for 3 people during my first team career and felt this year was time for me to be given the opportunity to play number 10. And the rest, as you know, is history. And then he just goes on. I'd like to retain my social membership and have no intention of severing my ties with the lads of the club. I haven't and will not fall out with anyone or bear any grudges. I wish Orrell best wishes for the rest of the season and hope that you're runners-up in the league and cup. For obvious reasons, he wants us to be runners-up. Once again, thanks for the past, as I look forward to a fresh challenge. Yours faithfully, Jerry. So, that's it. That's the final severing of the links, boy. OK. See you when you get down. Bye now. That's it. Goodbye, Jerry Ainscough.
Well, I share the view of the majority of those supporters who thinks it's a crying shame that Jerry's gone to Leicester. There have been long-standing Orrell members and supporters who regard the departure of Jerry as rather like a death in the family. It's certainly a loss to the family because Orrell is a family club and they cannot afford to lose a local player of Jerry's class and loyalty.
It's a family club. Did you feel in any way under some kind of emotional bond to stay there?
Well, I think someone who's been at a club for so long is bound to feel that. But I think all the lads that I've seen since, they do understand the decision why I did leave. And I don't bear any grudges with anyone, so I've still maintained that friendship.
Do you think they bear any grudges towards you, some of them perhaps?
No, I don't think so. I think people in the same situation would want to do that anyway. I think that if they had the chance to go any higher and they weren't being given the chance at the club, I think they would leave also. If they had any ambition, that is.
Just 1 week after Jerry Ainscough's departure, Orrell faces the most important match of the season so far, against Bath. In recent years, Bath has been England's most successful club, and Orrell have never beaten them. Victory today would be the ultimate proof that Orrell have reached the top of British rugby.
We don't give Webby any goal-kicking chances. That's the bloody key issue. We're not playing underneath our sticks for Barnsley to bloody drop goals. If we've got to improve on areas, we've got to kick better. Right? All round. Look for spaces at the back. Reduce the pressure. Get up there. Put them under the pressure. You know what you can do. We know what we've got to do.
Then 2 lads.
Time, Dexter.
22.
Sorry. Yep.
Think about your games all the time, lads.
I don't want anybody at any stage today missing that first tackle. The only problems we had last week is when we missed the first tackle. If it's your man, you bloody hit him and you put him down.
4.2 minutes this afternoon. They're all running the feet.
As soon as these two come in, I want everybody sat down.
Boys, I don't know if anybody's apprehensive, but don't be fucking scared of these boys. We've just got to get out there and fucking rip into them like we've done for the last 3 league games and the cup game. Reputations don't count for nothing up here. Let's get into them.
If we get that fucking lid on that coffin and we nail it down.
Right, come on. Sit down, Simon, come on. Right. Last few things about our game. One, we've been in this position before, right? We've got a good crowd, we've got the club behind us, we've got the public behind us, we've got the Wigan public behind us, right? And we've just nearly got there, and they're desperate for us to do well. They are desperate for us to do well. If we're there and we're an inch off and we just fail, you know what they're like, oh, you're lost again. We've got to have a W today to stay there. They don't want anything else other than winners. That's what they're after, is winners. Entertainment, yes, we can give it. But at the end of the day, it's that little bit another inch to get and stay on top. And that's what I'm after today, lad. So we're going to go right down to the bloody bottoms of our soles of our shoes today and sum up everything. We're going to give it bloody everything today. And there's no doubt about that. I can see that now. But you know, I want individually and collectively a bloody game from the front row, the second row, and right through the old gamut of the team. You know you've a performance to play today, so let's really give it today.
Busloads from Bath have travelled north for this important match. The visiting team is stacked with star internationals and confident of victory. But Orrell have the tribal loyalties of their home supporters and a pre-match ritual designed to bolster their warrior spirit.
We go out there this afternoon and we rip the fucking head off.
I told them to go in too.
Right. We rip the fucking head off from the off. No. We listen to Joey forwards. We don't go off the ones and twos. We listen when he wants that ball, it goes fucking back. It goes to him. And then when we fucking score, we come back, that's the coffin lid off. We get a next score, we put the first fucking screw in it. We come back to the middle and we sort the coffin lid. And we keep putting fucking nails in the coffin lid till they're dead and fucking buried. Right? We are the fucking best. Simple. She fucking said it, simply the best. Another fucking cliche, but that's it. We go out and we do the fucking business. Now come on boys, let's just fucking do it. I know it's been said. Come on lads, we can do it. Come on, think of fucking dinner last week. He's not here this week, but he fucking put us in this position last week.
Good Charlie.
So the referee, Chris Harrison from East Midlands, gets the game underway.
Move it, come on! Sammy, move it! Get up, Ash!
Up to the back it goes. Ojomo's clear. He feeds to Ben Clark on the peel. The Bath forwards are in support. This is marvellous position for him. Now Barnes has a go. Out to Guscott. Guscott to Daw. Daw has outside of Tony Swift, and Swift goes in for the try. A lovely try for Bath in the opening score. Taken there well by Taverner. Difficult, awkward kick for him to take over the shoulder, and he finds touch, and that's the last kick of the half. And certainly Orrell have come back into it well, but they're trailing at half-time.
No, we've got him on the rack. There we are. Fucking keep him there, or get that fucking lid nailed down, and we let him come back, and we don't fucking live with ourselves. No, let's 100% effort. We're going down that paddock now from this kick-off. We're going to camp down there, and we're going to play the football down there at a pace you can't live with.
we keep disciplined and we attack. Aggression, lads. We've showed it 2 or 3 times when we're going up the field. Other times, you see what they're doing. They get on one man and 3 of them drive us. We have got to do that. We have got to do that. We can't get isolated. We've got to be aggressive. We've got to get the ball in our hands and keep it up. Stand up, and then we'll do things. Stand up. If it's nothing on, if it's slow ball, just keep it there. I'll box it. I'll give it to Stretty. I'll do something with it. But just stand up off your feet. Okay, come on.
Remember that score, lads. We're concentrating.
Come on.
What can Orrell do from this scratch? Not secure enough. Held at the back by Manley. To Stret. Stret the long pass out to Taverner. Now Heslop's got a bit of room. What can he do? He's got one way. He's going for the line. Is he clear? He dives for the score. Good goal, lad. Good goal.
One out the top draw, that.
Orrell have won it. Wallace has found space. Just what Orrell wanted. Halsall chases. The whistle goes. A famous victory here at Edgehall Road. Orrell, for the very first time, have beaten Bath. And they maintain their league challenge. Unbeaten at the top of the league. What a day here for Orrell and for all their loyal supporters at Edgehall Road.
Despite their historic triumph over Bath, Jerry Ainsco's defection to Leicester, where he now plays stand-off, still rankles with the Orrell players.
The thing that got me about Jerry, you know, was the timing of it. He could have gone any time, really, because he knew what the position was. He knew it wasn't going to change, and he could have gone any time. But to go, like, mid-season, as it were, it gets me. It's a big...
How to explain? He lives locally, and it's easily accessible. We're a first division club, and certainly what success he's had has been due to the players he's played with.
And he would have got given his chance as well. That's sad, but he didn't give us long enough. No, he gave us an ultimatum, and then he just fired off. I mean, he's a cracking rugby player. He's really a very talented rugby player. But sometimes I think he needs to go up a little bit. The real big sad thing from our point of view, like as captain, is every one of the lads here plays for each other. You know, there's nobody that's said, you know, I mean, Simon's going from full-back to centre and everything. I think to turn around and just refuse to play, to me, he's let himself do it. He's let the lad do it. That's what he wants for a play.
Despite losing this match against Northampton, the Orrell players maintain their position at the top of the First Division throughout December, January and February. In March, they played Jerry Ainsco's new club, Leicester. Meanwhile, Jerry himself is still living and working in the shadow of his old club.
It's a good challenge to join another club. I don't think it'll do my game any harm.
Jerry, where are you going now?
I'm just nipping down to Leicester for training.
Nipping down to Leicester? It's rather a long way.
Well, no pain, no gain. The benefits are there if I put the effort in. So that's why I did it. It was the best way to deal with the situation.
While Ainscoe makes a 200-mile round trip just to train at Leicester, Orrell coach Des Seabrook prepares his players for the match against their old teammate.
This game on Saturday for us, you know, as a club, is make or break, right? And I want Orrell not just to be in the First Division. I want us to be in the top 3 and 4 and winning bloody trophies. So let's get that bloody straight now. The object on Saturday is to beat Leicester and get, right, a gap probably between us and the rest of the field. If we can beat Leicester on Saturday, that's what can happen, right? And that's our priority, beating Leicester. But there's a question, and I mentioned it on Tuesday, of a certain Mr. Ainscoe, right? To quote him from the rugby world, he's gone to a bigger and a better club. That made me very upset and very cross, and I've kept my mouth shut up to now. If we can't make that work to our advantage on Saturday, there's something wrong with us. And I think we've got to do it. I don't want any bloody vendettas. There's not going to be any of that. But I want to make sure that people understand what we're about, right? And the people in this dressing room know what we're about. And the people want to play and want to do well. We're playing to beat Leicester, and it's not going to be easy. And I think everybody understands that.
Thank you.
Are you going to win your Sunday lunch? Food and wine in the hamper, only £1 for 5 tickets.
Nowhere to come when you've won it. There you are. Thank you. I hope you win.
Putting him there, John. Yeah. Please move it.
Okay. Come on, let's do it, Betty, and Joey over that game.
Let's destroy them. We're going to fucking destroy them.
There aren't many players who have left Orrell and played for other first teams and come back to play at Orrell, so that'll be quite strange. And then we'll be coming on the field first, which again is different.
We do the business on the paddock. Our bit of grass, right? Our speckies, we're top of the league. One at a time, if we win one at a time, we win the league. That's the true fucking sense of the best team of the season. And I've heard people criticise us this week, and it hurts, because we've come a long, long way, and we don't deserve it. And we're going to ram it right down the throat, out there on the paddock this afternoon. We know what we've got to do. Now just squeeze each other, come on, we're together.
Come on. Back on the road, family, family.
Come on, boys.
Big family, lads. Together. Let's go. All family.
When it hurts.
Let's work for each other this week. Put it back, the commitment, the commitment.
No penalties.
I want Blue Boy, Nige and Joey walking in that hotel tonight, top of the league. And that's where we're stopping. Let them think what they think.
Come on, boys. Come on, we know each other.
For each other. We know what we're about. We know what we've got to do. It's easy to criticise. All the graft we've done. All the work we've done. Come on, let's go and do it.
Come on, lads, you on the field. Come on.
Big style, big style. Come on, strong and arch today. Come on, come on, come on.
What's house?
Very much a focal point of the contest, the meeting between the former Orrell stalwart Jerry Ainscough, who left the club in December because he wanted to play at fly half, so he's now in Leicester colours, travelling down here from Orrell to play in Leicester each week, and his opposite number, Martin Strett. So a real head-to-head, and sure to be a focal point of this contest. Panellist referee Ed Morrison, the World Cup referee also, as the league leaders Orrell then face one of their close challengers at the top of the table, the Leicester Tigers. Leicester up the slope in this first half. Cardooni and the first touch for Jerry Ainscough. Not finding touch. Halsall with the counter-attack. Liley, the stand-in Leicester skipper, calls the mark and gets it. Sean Gallagher. Nice dummy by the number 8 to Dowie Morris. Good link. Taberner in the line. Heslock readjusting, cutting back infield. Eludes Ainscough with a hand-off. This could be a great individual effort. Can Heslock control it? Superb score. Well, that was England class from Heslock. It really was. Strett. 10-point lead if he gets it, which he does. Final kick of the half. And Orrell leading deservedly 13 points to 3.
The next 40 minutes, and decide whether we win the fucking league or not. You attack that clubhouse now, they're going. The front row, the hooker's trying to fucking get. Joey's trying to make a fucking mistake, right? We've got them all buckled up, we just need the urgency keeping on. We cannot afford to sit on it, right? We keep this urgency going. Now, come on.
Cardooni, Ainscough, from Boyle to back, links to Underwood. Hackney, Liley, inside is Ainscough, can he make it to the corner? I wonder if he wouldn't have made it himself. Tried to find Hackney on the inside, and Orrell escaped. Kuzani with the pick-up, and here's a chance now with Cleary on the burst. Halsall across, Heslop outside. The cover is there, but not good enough, and it's a try to round it off for Orrell as Heslop streams in past the tackle of Ian Bates. Heslop enjoying his return with his second try, and an enigmatic-looking Des Seabrook, relatively content, I'd suggest. So Leicester's challenge for the league title about to peter out, one senses here, as the final whistle goes, and Orrell celebrate their retention of the league, 21 points to 9.
Although Jerry Ainscough may now feel he's playing in the right position, it is beginning to look as if he's joined the wrong club. His former Orrell teammates are bathing in glory and basking in the prospect of winning the Rugby Union Club Championship for the first time. Next week, will a mid-season trip to Australia destroy Wigan Rugby League's Cup challenge at home?
What Labour really needs is a leader who'll fight government policy, stand up to John Major, and really make his life a misery. The smart money's still on Margaret Thatcher.
One thing John Smith is good at, though, is climbing mountains. Well, the thing about climbing mountains is that for years people have started at the bottom and gone up. We had to decide if this is the best way to go about it. You must have a strategy. You must stick to your route, and if your leader should fall by the wayside, you must immediately reach out and grab his Kendall mint cake. The trouble is, even if he reaches the top, all he'll find is a rambler in a woolly personality saying, "Hello. Would you like a Marmite sandwich? I've got some Ribena in my thermos." Labour have even more Scotsmen waiting in the wings for the audition. Name, Gordon Brown. And what do? Goldfish. Goldfish have a notoriously short attention span, you know. You can see Gordon Brown going around the Commons going, "Oh, we've lost the election. Oh, we've lost the election. Oh, we've lost the election." That's very good, very good. Tonight on Whose Party Line Is It Anyway? We're joined by common interest in getting rid of
their respective teams. One has 13 heroes who play by the riverside. The other club has 15. They wear black and gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the old ball.
February, and after a difficult start to the season, Wigan Rugby League are back on winning form and looking forward to the possibility of international competition.
Well, things have picked up now after a shaky start. We look very ordinary early in the season, but we're on a bit of a winning roll now, and things are looking much better.
Well, I'm getting ready to go to Sydney, Australia. We're invited into a World Sevens tournament. I'm taking 10 of the boys and John Mooney with me. We're actually favourites for the competition, believe it or not. It's a very prestigious tournament that the people in in Sydney, reckon, will be one of the biggest events they've ever shown. Got my passport here somewhere. There it is.
The main concern I've got at the moment as the coach of the team is the fact that we've been nominated for the Sydney Sevens. We've got to go out there. It's a 30-hour plane flight. And then when we get back, it's 30 hours back, and we've got to play Warrington in the Challenge Cup. So as the coach of the side, I'd probably advise the club not to do it. It's something that it's too big a risk to take. We probably shouldn't go to Sydney, and we should be here concentrating on the Challenge Cup.
Wigan's newest player is Martin Afire, the star winger they've just bought from Widnes for £440,000. But as a result, Dave Myers, also a winger, has been relegated from the first team to the reserve A team.
Playing in the A team, you do not get much money at all. It's £70 tax, which ends up hardly anything, so you've got to subsidise this by working as well.
But there are some compensations. Even though he's lost his first team place, Myers has been picked to play alongside Martin Afire in Australia.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather will be pretty good out there. It's supposed to be hot at the moment. Plenty of sand, sea, surf and a bit of sex, hopefully.
We've been preparing for it for 3 weeks. I've promised the Wigan boys that win, lose or draw, I'll take them round Sydney Harbour on a yacht I've arranged to charter. I'm going to give them a beach barbecue, so win, lose or draw, they're going to get some satisfaction from it. But my hope is, of course, that we come back with a trophy and 100,000 Australian dollars. So it's Sydney, here we come. Oh, there's colour and excitement with Australian rugby. They spent $2 million recently flying Tina Turner across from the States to make a special promotional video just to float the game at the beginning of the season.
Some boys has got the look of a creep down the street. And some boys just try to talk you off of your feet. Some boys think they're God's gift to woman. And some boys just think they're sweet enough to eat.
Sydney Airport.
Hi, Jeff. Good to see you again, mate. Yeah, you're the liaison officer.
Welcome. After a 30-hour flight, the Wigan players were looking forward to some colour and excitement and a fine Australian summer. Instead, it's cool and raining, and only the seabirds are bathing on Bondi Beach.
A severe weather warning remains current for the Sydney area. Heading for a top of 18 degrees in Sydney. Currently outside, showers and 16 degrees.
Coach John Money and several of the team originally come from down under, and the local press is less interested in Wigan's new star Martin Afire than they are in returning Aussies like Gene Miles.
Gene, you got into Sydney this morning fairly early. How do you feel?
Well, at this stage we're a pretty tired mob. But, you know, we've been in the air for over 30 hours, so you know, we're going to have a hit out here today and hopefully put the head down very early tonight.
We need one of the halfbacks to start with. Either
Taking 10 players halfway around the planet to play seven-a-side rugby for 5 days may well jeopardise their performance in the English Challenge Cup when they return home. Chairman Maurice Lindsay knows his team must win the tournament in Australia in order to justify the risk.
The most important thing that we've got to discuss is what are we going to have at Doyle's tonight? In the way of seafood.
I just hope my credit card stands up to it. I'm a bit worried. Once you let Andy Gregory loose, in fact, I'm not worried so much about Greg as that Gene Miles. He's back in his native land and he's smelling all those prawns and oysters. I'm just a bit worried we might go skint on the first day.
The Wigan players arrive at the evening reception launching the World Seven-a-Side tournament. Some of the teams, like the Fijians, are wearing national costume. The Wigan players aren't. Despite jet lag and any pre-tournament nerves, the bachelors in the Wigan squad are keen to circulate and socialise.
I should like to just take this opportunity of expressing my personal gratitude and thanks to the English Rugby League and the Wigan Club and its chairman, Maurice Lindsay. I think we're all aware of what the situation over in England is at the present time with Wigan's position in the Challenge Cup. So on behalf of everybody connected with this tournament, Maurice, I'd be appreciative if you would take back to your people our heartfelt thanks and particularly our gratification for you being a man of your word and keeping your commitment and promise to this game. Thank you very much.
Day one of the tournament, and on their way to the stadium, Wigan are not surrounded by supporters.
Lord favoured to take out the inaugural miss of Lord Sevens all the way from the north of England. Please welcome English champions, Wigan.
The teams in the tournament are segregated into 8 groups. Only the top team in each group will go through to the quarter-finals. The matches are only 7 minutes each way, so any mistake could be vital to Wigan's chances of winning the cup.
Hard work, that's all it's got to be. Fucking loads and loads of hard work.
It's only 40 minutes, let's go for broke, yeah?
You can't play tactics, can you? And me say, get a message out to such and such that, you know, he's got to come off. You know when you're just blowing out, so you're got to be the one that's got to get across quickly when there's a break and we can get somebody else on.
In their opening match, Wigan play an Australian team, the Cronulla Sharks.
Underway, Cronulla drive the ball down nice and deep.
Big test, Darryl, as to how well you're going to chase kicks, not only the ones that you put in play, but the opposition. You've got to have a good work rate to play this game. As Offia, straight up the middle.
Martin Offia has just stepped around to the man they call the best finish of the game. Still going, Offia. He's got to pull too. He might go all the way, Martin Offia.
Keen to justify his transfer fee, Martin Afire opens the scoring in style. But halfway through the match, the Sharks lead Wigan by 6 points to 4. The Sharks go even further ahead, and Wigan fight back. The Sharks score again.
Edwards now tries to have Dino on his side. Now he unloads it. Dino goes down. He'll get there too. Just caught him.
With 2 minutes to go, the Sharks are in the lead, and this is Wigan's last chance to equalise.
There's the angle. Oh, sir! Yes, sir! What about that for a kick from Fred O'Connor? The All Black. 16 apiece.
First scorer in this extra time will win the football game.
Great cool, boys.
Edwards trying to link up with Bodiger.
Take your time, bots.
This time they've got a bit of space out wide. Miles.
Gene.
Gets a great ball out for Martin Dermott. Now Martin Offia. Here he goes to the sidelines. With just seconds to go. Oh, final score, Wigan 20 defeating Cronulla 16.
Got to make him look pretty, mate. Oh, God, that's Roy the Rover stuff, that, you know, just, you dream about it and read about it, you know. You're down, you score a try, he has to kick the goal from the fucking corner flag.
I bet the organisers are happy now, though, don't you? Draw in the first game, big finish.
Great stuff for the boys, big effort. One more game tomorrow, and then we're in the money.
The weather shows no sign of improvement, and the boat trip and beach barbecue have, not surprisingly, been cancelled. So, in the absence of sun, sea, sand and sex, Dave Myers and some of the other Wigan players go sightseeing.
Oh, my God. This is why we come to Australia. These women here. Look at these things. It's all you want. That works in Wigan. It doesn't work in Australia.
Is there any good shops around here? Because it sounds terrible.
Joshie over there is really good. We're trying.
in a dress. I just got my ears pierced, same.
Oh my God.
And they're all red. Zoom in. Hey. Mum's watching me. Hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. Bye. No, I can't see that tomorrow. Thank you,
You get arrested for that.
You get arrested for that?
Young girls. Are we going to have a look in the shop then? Should we go for a drink, maybe? A little drink? Drink a pop? A massage parlour? Let's go to a massage parlour. There's not been many women here at the moment. We didn't have much time anyway. We're not bothered. It's crap here. Honest to God, rubbish. The weather's crap. It's not stopped raining since we've been here. Oh, absolutely. I mean, proper rain as well, not just piddling down. Really giving it. Yeah, not yet, anyway. We went out tonight. We just were in the hotel and then we went to some bar not too far away.
I suppose my name it's easy for them to sort of make headlines out of that, isn't it? Well, I suppose it's always nice to get good press rather than bad press. But I suppose you've got to take, the good with the bad and sort of just take them with a pinch of salt, because obviously, headlines don't, tend to suggest how well you played, really. They just like to sell papers, really.
So, I'm not going to stay on too long anyway, because it's going to hammer me bill. I don't want to waste my money. So what I'll do, I'll give you a ring after the game. We've got a game tomorrow morning, so I'll phone you sometime tomorrow and get in touch with you. Yeah, how's my dog anyway? Is he all right? Good. Make sure you keep feeding him anyway. All right, mate, so I'll ring you up tomorrow. See you later now.
Back at the stadium, Wigan enter their second match against the Gold Coast full of confidence.
Now it comes along the back line now, a chance of vacant spread at Gold Coast now. Jason Twist, yes. After you just killed the movement in one go, they're still going through Terry Cook. Can he fire it? He doesn't have to. Jason Twist in for number 2. Well, they had the poles and 6s and 7s spread all across the field.
Wigan's confidence, it seems, was misplaced. They can do nothing to stop their opponents scoring try after try.
Twist, is he having a big day? That's number 3. 3 in a row.
Come on, you can do it. 1 minute to go. Come on.
Trying it down, the crowd counting down now. So the English champions defeated Cronulla last night, go down to the Gold Coast 16 points to 10.
Destroyed by the Gold Coast team, Wigan are almost certainly out of the competition. It's beginning to look as if Maurice Lindsay's gamble is not going to pay off.
-2 now. So a -2. It's going to be very hard to win it then, because
Cronulla's got to beat Gold Coast by what?
They'd have to beat them by 1 point, which can't happen. We can't get in the quarterfinals. No.
We didn't play very well, particularly. Missed a couple of tackles and they capitalised quite well. They played quite well.
1 minute you're alive, and next minute we're going to play. Well, it looks like we're going to play off in the second division tomorrow. Where yesterday we retained our favouritism. Now we're probably 100 to 1.
It's disappointing, but I'm certainly not devastated, because it's a hard thing to come all the way over here and win a competition like this.
It is dreadfully disappointing when you fly from the other side of the world to play 7 minutes each way and run the risk of being knocked out of the major finals. You hope for better, and in that respect, the whole team's devastated, and they're just terribly sad that it looks as though they won't be given an opportunity to show everyone how good they are.
The weather is getting even worse, but through a happy application of the tournament rules, Wigan are through to the final stage.
At the end of the day, we all won 1 game, and Wigan ended up scoring the most tries in their 2 games, so the rules stated that we proceeded through to the quarterfinals. We resigned ourselves to the fact that we'd be probably playing Russia or Papua New Guinea or America or somebody, but now we're going to be still in there, with the big guns firing it out.
We're leaving at 12:30. The ground is going to be wet out there, and there's going to be a lot of water on it, a lot of wind. So we probably need to blast the kick off as hard as we can. Leno was talking to the Rugby Union coach, the guy that coaches Australia Rugby Union. He said he'd watched the highlights and he felt we didn't kick the ball enough in that game yesterday. But we played really poorly, didn't we? Yeah. We've copped a bit of a bagging in the press today, saying we're a typical Pommy side and can't tackle. You know, Morris is pissed off, he's gone. And then the other thing was that they said, oh, Penrith got the easy draw again because they're playing Wigan. So we've got to make sure that we put up a better show than we did yesterday, because it was very poor performance.
The final day of the tournament. The quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the finals will all be played today in appalling conditions. Wigan must now win all 3 matches to repair their reputation, take home the trophy and justify the risk they took in coming here at all.
Wigan this afternoon in their traditional cherry and white jerseys here to do battle against Penrith. And of course Penrith went to Wigan, played them in Liverpool, got their backside smacked. This is probably an opportunity for some sort of revenge for them, although Sevens football, to my mind, is like kissing your mother-in-law. There's the start of play.
Yes, and a long kick down, taken on the far side. Out the Martin, a fire, flying down there. Dennis McKay coming across from it, a fire too fast. Oh, Lloyd's is going to get to him now. Just too quick, and he scores for Wigan. A good try.
Wow, Chariots of fire. Martin off here, Martin of fire. Call him what you will. Up goes the left arm in triumph. He scored plenty of tries here before. He scored the first try in the Nissan Sevens last Friday night. And what an excitement machine. We haven't seen the little tubby milk bottle yet. Andy Gregory, he's on the sideline. The milk bottle with chunky legs. Chunky beef he is.
9 metres out from the Penrith goal line. Dermott coming into the dummy half position. G. Miles is there. Dermott goes on his own. He's beat them all. Soft stuff from the Panthers.
He's off here with a chance again. And away he goes.
Yes, and he's confronted by Carl McNamara. See you later, Alec. There's Martin of fire going downfield. And he's going to score underneath the post for the Cherry Flyers.
This is a romp in the rain for Wigan.
It's a good pass out now. It goes to Walker. He has a look back inside. The ball will be coughed up. Pepper didn't want to dive on it, but he's grabbed hold of the shirt of Andy Gregory and put him down. The referee's caught him. He's pinched him.
But Andy hasn't changed. He's shaking his head at the referee's decision. And pointing.
He's telling the referee what to do.
Yeah, well, that's nothing different. Cheeky little halfback, one of the great players of rugby league, one of the great survivors.
I love him.
You love him?
He's a great mate of mine.
He's what?
I've sung in Marseille with him. On a bar.
On a bar in Marseille you've sung with him.
Yes,
well, you have to go to England to find him, mate. You've got none here. Kick downfield by Alexander. Oh, the opening try for Penrith in this game, but it's long gone for them, and Wigan will cruise into the semi-finals of the World Cup Sevens.
Andy Gregory sights the hole. They've gone over again, the Cherry Pickers. You can't stop them.
That's great rugby league. Andy Gregory. That's Wigan keeping the ball alive, looking down at Morris Lindsay, their manager. And they're all smiles, the Wigan boys. But there's full time. 22 points to 8 in favour of Wigan.
Well, we're in the semis. In the semis. Restored a bit of credibility to our side.
Despite getting through to the semi-finals, the English visitors still, it seems, fail to impress the locals.
They want pommy weather over here, that's what they've got. So they might go all right today now. Great.
Wigan, they suck.
Where's Wigan?
Trained on pork pies and beer. Wigan there, bunch of pommies, mate.
The semi-finals. Wigan versus one of the top Australian sides, Manly.
Kicked ahead by O'Fire. He'll regather and probably score. He does.
Oh, what a try!
Yeah, you will, but mate, it's almost half-time. Half-time score, 8 points to 0 in favour of Wigan. We'll be back in just... Open up. Yeah, you got it, yeah. Okay, good. Orrell goes into Manly. 8 points to 4 now. The Eagles coming back. Back for Stokes. Now
In the second half, Manly stage a brave comeback.
he'll score. A sensational try.
15 seconds remaining. If he gets this, it's all over.
Stokes, it's away wide of the upright. Extra time for the right to go through to the final. This could be it. It's gone out for Dennis Betts. He gets it over the line. Wigan have gone to the final.
After the match, the team have an hour to regain their composure, and for rivals Martin Afire and Dave Myers to sort out their differences.
You've been here all weekend. You've not fuck all.
Just cut that bit out, don't put it in, because put this bit in now, and butt him dead hard in the face.
It's nice to be in the final. It's really some decent money.
Let's go back champions.
Nice to stick it up them bastards as well.
Damp dancing girls and a mediocre military band try to warm up the depleted crowd for the final match. In the final match of the tournament, Wigan's opponents will be the Brisbane Broncos.
The Broncos take the field now for their battle with the English champions Wigan, led down the tunnel by Dean Bell. And the man behind him, Martin O'Fire, has scored 6 tries in the tournament so far. O'Fire gets out of a couple inside the quarter. That's his 7th try for the tournament. Line is only 8 metres away. 3 metres away. Lega gets the first try for the Broncos.
The kick successful. 6 points to 4. The Brisbane side now lead.
Away now for O'Fire. Down the sideline. Shut the gate. Terriers is going in again. 8th try of the tournament.
Come on, you Wigan boys! Go!
O'Fire stretching out now over the halfway. Beats the last line of defence. And Martin O'Fire goes in for his 3rd try in the cup final. Betts steaming down the sideline.
Martin Afire, it seems, has taken it upon himself to win the tournament for Wigan almost single-handed.
Well, it wouldn't be anyone else, would it?
Hancock is there for Brisbane. Away from the tackle.
Oh dear.
And so Hancock on a lengthy run down towards halfway, but Dean Bell makes the tackle.
Come on, where's the hooter?
So, 3 to go. Joe? 0. Well done, John. Congratulations, John.
Let me now call upon the captain of Wigan, Dean Bell, to accept the Nissan World 7 Cup and the winner's cheque.
The $100,000 cheque is a happy first repayment of Martin Afire's transfer fee.
It's my great pleasure to announce that the man of the series is Martin Afire of the Wigan Club.
I'd just like to thank the sponsors and all the rest of the Wigan players because they put up a big effort and I think they really deserve their win. I might have scored the tries, but people like Dave Myers had to put the effort in, do my tackling and everything else. Big rap to Dave.
Well done. We want Joe! We want Joe! We want Joe! We want Joe! We want Joe as a leader, 'cause he's big and fucking dumb.
That's good, mate. On the Nissan.
Morris, business class?
Come on, Morris, come on! Come on to first class!
Oh, by the way, I've got an announcement for you. It's training Tuesday at Wigan, 6:30.
Back in Wigan after their Australian triumph, Martin Afire and the rest of the first team have just 3 days to prepare for the next round of the English Rugby League Challenge Cup. And despite his efforts in Australia, Dave Myers has not been selected to play.
Since I got back from Australia, it's been nothing. I've not been included in the Wigan side, and I thought that my career at Wigan looks like it's on the slippery slope, so I put a transfer request in.
David's just put himself on the transfer list, which is, personally, that's very disappointing to me because, you know, I spoke to him before we went to Sydney and asked him to keep his head down for the rest of the season, work hard, and I'd look after him and probably give him a start in all games when there was a back injured, as long as he did the right thing when we got back and, you know, and behaved himself. So, on a personal note, it's disappointing.
It's no concern with the Wigan directors about your personal feelings and things like that. All it is a business making money at the end of the day to them. But as to the players, it's you live in, it's you love the game, you play rugby league the game. If I did come to move, I think I'd try and play to the best of my ability and hopefully score a few tries against Wigan and show them what they got rid of. And hopefully, you know, stick it up them, as we'd like to say.
You know, it's not the first time that he spat the dummy out, and to use the good Australian expression, he's carrying on like a big Sheila.
Next week, will Orrell win the Rugby Union Championship for the first time ever?
Regardless of their means, Wigan folk turn out to cheer on their respective teams. One has 13 heroes who play by the riverside. The other club has 15, they wear black and gold with pride. Rugby is their passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each way can work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the oval ball.
We do the business on the paddock. Our bit of grass, right? Our speckies, we're top of the league. One at a time, we win one at a time, we win the league.
April '92. Orrell's veteran captain, Sammy Southern, has a real chance of achieving his life's ambition, to lead Orrell to victory in the English Rugby Union Championship.
And we're going to ram it right down the throat, out there on the paddock this afternoon.
Throughout the winter, Orrell have been playing tough and competitive rugby. Now they're at the top of the championship table, and there are only 3 matches to go before the end of the season.
Individual effort. Has not controlled it. Superb score.
9-0 down. Just because we've got the score from the win doesn't mean we're going to be winners at 4:30. We've got to go out and take it.
Much of Orrell's success has been due to the leadership both on and off the field of Sammy Southern. Now 38 years old, this is Sammy's last season as captain.
Captain of Orrell, you're not just captain of the first team, you're captain of the whole club. So you've got to make sure everything in the club is running smoothly and everybody's happy right through the teams connected with rugby. I like to think if anybody's any problems, either on or off the field, they can come and have a chat with me. And then I can, if you will, try and my best to sort it out through the club.
Most of the time, it's no problem being captain and holding in a full-time job. It's just the odd week, like this week when we've big game on Saturday and club dinner tonight. It just means you're at the club. Like this week, I'm at the club 4 nights a week, more or less straight from work. But it's something you know about before you take the job on, so you've got to carry on and get on with it.
The annual club dinner. Like much of rugby life, this is an all-male affair. This is one of the last occasions when Sammy will be on top table with the club's bigwigs. Next year, he's returning to the ranks.
I just want to go back to being one of the lads and not winter committee meetings and straight after the game and go and have a pint with the lads instead of all the committee wanting to know why we lost with 2 points when we should have won with 60. So I'm looking forward to just having a rest on that side of it next year.
No, thank you. I'm quite content, yes. If you call a pint of lager a liqueur, that will go down well. That will go down well. Yeah? That will last me all through the speeches then.
All right.
Thank you.
The president of the Rugby Football Union, Peter Yarrington, kicks off his speech with a reference to Orrell's president, Brian Taberner.
I grow roses in my spare time, and there is a rose, believe it or not, in the English Rose Growers Handbook called Taberner's Purple Stalk. I think it is really extremely kind of you to laugh at that, but that's not the punchline at all. There's a picture of it on one side and the description of it on the other side of the page, and it's described as being no good in a bed, but it thrives up against a brick wall. The example comes from the top, and it comes from the captaincy, it comes from the administration, and it comes from the leading players. Your skipper, Sammy Southern, is, as you all know, a great skipper, and now you are one of the greatest clubs in the world. But I ask you to rise and toast the health of your great club, coupled with the name of Sammy.
Despite Orrell's success, it's still very close at the top of the Union League table. Last year's champions Bath are only 1 point behind. Sam is devoting every spare moment from his job to preparing himself for the next match against the glamour club from Sunbury-on-Thames, Wasps.
I come to the gym most dinner times and most nights. I'll train at lunchtime, I'll come back at night straight from work and then go straight up to Orrell and train up there. When I'm not at Orrell, I train, I'll go for a run, you know, through the woods and things like that.
In the old days, perhaps even when you began your career, this kind of dedication wouldn't have been expected of a rugby union player.
No, I don't think it was. It was just two laps around the pitch and a game of touch rugby and then a few pints. But, you know, it's competition's tough, and if you want to get to the top, you've got to be, first thing you've got to do is be fit.
Right, to there we're all right.
Yeah.
But with the season drawing to a tense close, some of Orrell's players are feeling the strain.
All right, and if I try and go, that brings it on.
Yeah.
I can come out this way.
Bob Kimmins is a big man and plays a key role at number 4 in the second row of the scrum. But he has a painful back problem.
If let your leg come down a little bit, again, let me have the weight of it. If we go across there, does that bring anything on?
Nothing.
Okay. Bob's condition is one where he irritates the structures in his back, and that comes about as a combination of his playing and his work. And if he's played particularly hard, if he's played in a top-level game and put a little bit more effort in than is required in either training or some of the lesser games, he puts a greater strain on his back.
Club physiotherapist Sarah Booth puts Bob through his paces. The team need him to be fit for next Saturday's game.
What do you mean? You don't play at this pace during the game. Well, yeah. There's the odd little amble. But you're looking to suddenly move. And that's the difference between when you play and what you're giving it in play. Tall men in any walk of life tend to suffer more with a back problem. If you add together poor posture, playing rugby, bricklaying for a job, you've got trouble. We're at the stage now when Bob has been in that position for a long time. Bob's back is well known. You know, Bob's got a bad back.
You've just got to grit your teeth, haven't you?
In the line-out, it always looks as if you could be very vulnerable to somebody just sort of going through your back.
No, it's just it's give and take. They do it to you, you do it back to them. It's no big deal. They don't set out to inflict any pain on you. Just one of them things. Sorry, Harry.
So your plans for the rest of the season?
I'm going to start. Hopefully, I'm going to try and play next week.
Bob goes on another training run, this time with his captain. Sammy knows only too well how critical Bob's performance will be in the match against Wasps.
Bob's busting a gut to play on Saturday. Bob's so important because your second row's the powerhouse of the scrum, so you've got to have such power coming through. Now, Bob being like 19 stone plus, and when he's fit, there's a lot of power coming through. And then he's 6'8½", but he's also very athletic. So he's 6'8½", but he can jump higher as well. You get some people who are 6'6", 6'7", but they can't get off the ground. Bob can, and he gets uphill. People just can't live with it. He's run well tonight, but he's still getting... It's not much the problem when he's actually running and when he's playing. It's what happens the day after. What he's concerned about and we're concerned about is that it affects him the day after on Monday, and then it affects him going to work. Which obviously, if he can't turn into work on Monday morning, it's no good to him and his family. So we've got to get that right for him before we can let him play.
OK. Great that, Des. All right, thanks very much. See you after. Ta-da.
The conflict between the demands of competitive amateur rugby and the need to hold down a job is the constant problem of rugby union.
Oh.
Martin Hines, who's just been called in for a training session for next Saturday's match, went on tour with Orrell last summer. When he returned, he found he'd lost his job. Since then, he spent months on the dole.
Listen, what time do you want me back for tonight?
Well, as soon as possible, really.
Well, listen, I'm a bit financially embarrassed at the moment. Any chance you can lend me a few quid till just so I can have a quick pint with the chaps before I come back?
How much do you want?
Well, I suppose it's 10 or...
It's 10 enough?
Yeah.
You sure? We'll take that and bring me the change if you don't need it.
Right, thanks,
OK.
Right.
Well,
when they shaved me on my birthday, it was at my 18th. All the lads, they got me...
upstairs in the bedroom, yeah.
Got me drunk on my 18th birthday.
They got you drunk. You did a pretty good job of doing it yourself.
Force it down. And the lads, my mates from the rugby club, was Colts at the time. And when I woke up in the morning, there was all these bodies in the bedroom just looking at me. You wake up to all these faces. And I thought something's wrong here. And the latest craze was shaving eyebrows. So I put my hands up and, oh no, they shaved my eyebrow off. I tried the other, oh no, that had gone as well. And they still kept looking and laughing at me. And when I looked down there, every hair on my body, my armpits, my doings, legs, everything had all been shaved. And all the hair was piled up in a big pile on my belly.
And Mum had the job of hoovering it out.
I mean, rugby players are known for their jolly japes, isn't it all a bit childish?
I suppose it is. It's all done and dusted by the time you know, 18 and 19, and then it's just the patter and the crack after that. But, you know, it's just lads growing up, isn't it?
For Martin and his mother, the hardship of being out of work pales into insignificance alongside the chance of his being the latest Orrell player to be picked for the England squad.
He went down to London, hoping for a B-team place. And, well, I had a little secret phone call, actually, on the Saturday night to say that he hadn't made the B-team. So I was, you know, full of woe and saying, oh, are you upset, love, and all the rest of it. No, Mum, on the contrary, he said, they've put me on the A squad. He said I'm on the full England squad, which I couldn't believe.
They asked me to come down training, didn't they?
Yeah, they asked him to go down and train with the England squad. So I just sat here for a whole night, bursting to tell everybody. And because it was a secret, couldn't tell a soul. So, I don't know, it was a really proud moment.
I mean, it's fantastic. No amount of money can ever buy you a place, and they can't buy an England shirt. You have to earn that, so it's, you know, the financial side, it doesn't matter there. But also, it sounds silly, but it was quite a good achievement for not just for me, but for the club and other people around, you know. I felt good that it's just another one of us up there.
I'm really chuffed for Heinz because his attitude is tremendous. He's only 22 and he's willing to learn, and he's for 22 on playing the position he plays against the opposition he does and consistently come out on top. He deserves his chance.
Now, with the position at the top so close, Martin Hines is less concerned with England than he is with Orrell's chance of winning the Rugby Union Championship.
Can we afford to lose at all now? Is this it? We have to keep winning right at the end to do it.
Nobody else.
It was like W.A.S.C winning the championship 2 years ago on the last kick of the game, of the last game of the season. You know, it was that close that season. It might be the same again.
But at this moment in time, it's if we don't lose, we'll win the league. If we don't lose any of the games, it's in our hands.
So you're not
we're not relying on anybody else to lose. If we win all our games, we'll win the league.
Saturday, April the 11th. Northern Pride and Northern Beer are packed into the bus for the journey 200 miles south. And to everyone's relief, Bob Kimmins is fit for the big match.
Morning, Sam.
Morning. Morning.
Morning, Sammy.
Morning.
You know it's all about wins. Don't let me get me! You mean like you?
They'll be as fit. I don't think. I think if the backs them out forward about a bit, but I don't. I mean, they've been playing for nothing, haven't they? So they'll have been doing like all in training.
Yeah.
I just feel at this point in time that it's probably the hardest game we've had. Let's get our bloody front five round and create that bloody mayhem in the midfield.
Maybe we're all with Orrell.
You're on the play, right?
Okay, all right.
Come on, lads, let's get shirts on.
Scissors, anyone?
7 minutes, lads.
Scissors.
13 there, Mossy.
Listen, lads, the last 5 minutes, the important thing is to bloody relax. Keep the concentration in many ways about the game, but relax. It's the start we're bothered about. We're going to play this game from the front, right? So don't tense up. Now, come on, be conscious of that.
Throughout the first half of the match, Orrell dominate the game, and at half-time, they lead Wasps by 9 points to 0.
We've got to keep driving and driving. All right, and then we should come in before the backs have it. But we've got to play with a pace now, what they can't live with, right? Think what I said, they've done nowhere near as much work as us, right? They're nowhere as prepared as us. They don't want it as much as we do. That's evident. If we score early doors, we'll get a panful, right? If we keep it up. Now, come on, we don't quit, right? We've one more round.
Keep it on!
But in the second half, Wasps fight back. With just 2 minutes left, Orrell get a penalty. They now lead 12 points to 10.
Let's go! Get up, ball up! Side! Get them up side!
But 10 seconds before the final whistle, Wasps gain possession. And with a drop kick in the dying moments of the game, Orrell's championship hopes are dashed.
What do you want me to say?
Well,
Can't say anything.
It's all the hard work over the season done in the last 2 seconds. Unbelievable. The last line hasn't been played.
John Lee, have a match here. Can you leave the pitch, please? Thank you.
Basically, it's defiance.
People have to feel sorry for people like Sammy. I mean, he's been here since he was 20 in the first team near enough. He's getting on nearly 40 now and 1 second away from very near glory. Yeah, it's very hard to take, really.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. They scored in the last minute in the league last year. They kicked a drop goal today in the last 5 seconds.
I mean, that Hugh Davis has been playing all these years. I don't think he'll ever hit another drop goal like that in his life. He certainly hasn't hit one up until now. Unbelievable.
I think the heart's broken out much. There's nothing there, but keep going.
Nothing there. Winners can laugh, losers can please themselves, can they?
How are you going to keep your spirits up for the rest of the season?
Well, we came in and found out Northampton had lost, so we'll work out the mathematics of it and we'll give it a go. If we'd have won today, we'd have been sitting pretty. But, the odds are against us now, but there's still some odds to go. So we'll go for it.
I think words doesn't sum it up, really. I said somebody what they like in the bath. I said it was deep enough they'd have drowned, I think. So one or two of them get over it pretty quick. No point harping about it, and you get on with the next game and shattering. But you've got to pick yourself up.
On Easter Monday, some pride was regained when Orrell beat the Harlequins. Once again, they're top of the table, but alongside Bath. There is still a chance that they could win the championship. Des Seabrook, now retired, has devoted most of his life to Orrell, first as player, then as captain, and now as unpaid coach. He's seen it all before.
I think it's in your blood. I think one of those things that I've been used to for 30-odd years, and I think if I now just suddenly packed it all in and said, well, I'll not be involved, I think I'd be worse off. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know what to do, particularly since I've retired, and my hobby's my job, and my job's my hobby, and I love it.
But Bob Kimmin's back is worse. He has to see a specialist at the local hospital.
Come back up and into extension. Come over backwards. Tilt to the side now. Not painful?
It's stiff.
Yeah,
I've had 10 good years of playing rugby and I've enjoyed every minute of it, but now it's just getting a bit tiring, so to speak. In the long term, I can only go so far, and I've got to decide what I've got to do.
What are your options?
Basically, to give up, well, I've got to just pack in playing rugby, that's all. Can't jack in work.
How many more years do you think you could keep playing?
About 2 months, basically. Probably, I might retire at the end of the season anyway, so to see what's what.
April the 25th, the last match of the season.
Last down today on here.
For Orrell to win the championship, they must win this match and Bath must lose theirs, being played 150 miles away on the same afternoon.
This, lads, is the last round, right? We shake hands, we come out fighting. It's like the boxing match, right? We're in front on points. But there's one thing. If we win, we have a chance of getting that decision. But there's one thing can stop us, and that's the bloody sucker punch that happens in the bloody last round. We've had one. We were on our knees. As far as our skipper is concerned, it is his last game as skipper, right? If ever anybody's put something in for this club, he has. If ever anybody's put something in this season, he has. You know that. I didn't have to say this, but I would say it, because the compliments have to come to him. We put it in for him today. More than anybody else, whatever you do for yourselves, you're doing double for him today. And that's what I expect. And I think everybody, if we talk to everybody, that is the bloody bottom line as far as this team and this club is concerned.
Clear here, you can. Ticket for John Burgess. Now, this is it. This come what it means today, the top, right? Now, we either win it outright, or else we've more or less joint second. Now, we've got to win and we've got to go for it. When you come off after, then you find out that if you'd have just pushed that bit more, if you'd have just dragged that little bit more at your bootlaces, you could have won it. You would have won it. So I don't want that to happen today. I want us to come off there with a good W under our belt. We've done everything we can, as a group of lads, as a gang of mates, right? That's what it's about this afternoon. Us lot, going out there and performing. Now, come on, let's just move it in now. Just squeeze each other, come on.
We just get hold of each other, pull each other in a circle, and that's the formula. I always say is, right, we're together now, we're us one. There's 17 of us with the replacements, and we'll all work together. Nothing will split us up till 5 o'clock, till after the game.
Right, let's give the fours one this week. Let's give them one. They'll do the job, we'll do the rest.
Frank, get in here.
Come on, come on, let's do it.
Despite his back, Bob Kimmins scores. It is perhaps the last try of his rugby union career.
While there's time, there's hope, as you might say.
Orrell are winning in style, but the news from the south is not good. Bath are thrashing Saracens.
I think we'll wrap up now.
Yes, I think so.
End of the season.
The cricket starts here, Des.
Cricket starts now. Just, can we just have the door shut there a little minute? Obviously, you know, one or two of you probably heard halfway through the game, you probably heard at the end of the game, Bath had, they were winning 17-0 at half-time, it was 17-3. Saracens had a man sent off. I've not got the final score, but, you know, I think as far as we're concerned, what could have been a joyous occasion, you know, we're runners-up. And I don't think anybody needs to drop their heads. I think you'll be proud of what we've done this season. It's been a tremendous season, the best season ever, and I've never been involved with a better set of blokes, both on and off the field. So, end of it all, great. End of one season means the beginning of the next, so let's be positive and, you know, let's look to the future.
Well done, buddy. Reach out, mate. It's been a pleasure, mate. Well done, man. Cheers, man.
5 years' time, we'll be your daughter.
Reach out, mate.
Well done,
Brilliant, lads.
Every year we want to win the title. That's our target. You know, we're only one kick off winning it this time, wasn't it? Last second against Wasps. It was cruel, but that's rugby. It's not all about winning.
What's it about rugby in the end, is it?
Camaraderie and friendships, you know. It's about life, really. That's life. Rugby's about life.
There's more things in life than rugby, but at this moment in time I can't think of any.
Tester for Green again. He's lost it again, and Edwards is in. Yes! The fire is over. Yes! Fire is into the corner. Gregory, he'll go for the dummy surely. He gets it to a fire, and there's his hat-trick. Gets it away to Miles, who's in.
Victory over another top side by 71 points to 10 is not common in the modern game. But then neither is Wigan's 5-year dominance of the Challenge Cup itself.
Dennis! Yes! John!
We don't need to say an awful lot because the press will be doing it for you tomorrow with all the records. But something I would really like you to listen to is our sponsor, Brian.
Thanks, Morris. All I can say is, you probably don't know, every time Wigan score, me and Ray have a drink. Today I'm pissed. What more can I say? From me and Ray and Norweb to check you for 5k.
Let him in. Let him in. Let him in.
Go, boys! Go, the best again! Go, the best again! Oh, the best again! The Wigan boys! Oh, the best again! Here we go!
For the last 5 years, Wigan chairman Maurice Lindsay has enjoyed basking in his team's reflected glory.
What did I say?
You're setting standards.
Oh yeah, we can't be blamed for setting a standard of excellence. That's our job. Set a standard of excellence, and it's up to everybody else to match it and surpass it.
Going to Wembley ensures that you take your share of a 1.72 million gate. It ensures that your sponsor is happy. It ensures that all your bonuses with your different sponsors come rolling in. So it gives that added confidence to set up for next season. If you win the Challenge Cup, we find that your season tickets for the following year go up and up and up.
Today, it would be hard to exaggerate the pride that Wiganers take in the success of their rugby league team. Yet only 10 years ago, many locals had turned their backs on the club.
It was back in 1981 when Wigan plunged into the second division. They were dark days indeed. The club itself hadn't been doing very well, obviously, but to go into the second division was a real wrench. I remember the evening paper at the time splashed the front page on the fact that the club had gone down. And it was a disaster, really.
A, we were in the second division 10 years ago. B, we had crowds of 4,000 and under 10 years ago. And C, we had no great players.
It was at that low point in the club's history that Maurice Lindsay took over as chairman, bringing with him inspiration and money.
It was his business acumen that set him on the road. He realised there was a business opportunity available when he came and took over Wigan. If he could bring success to the field, then the turnstiles would click over and the fans would flock back to watch a successful club.
As well as investing his own money, Maurice has seldom fought shy of putting the club heavily into debt, if it meant he could build the right team.
We've invested £2 million in a stand and £500,000 in Martin Offia within 6 months. It's a catch-22 situation. You go heavily into debt by building a new stand, then you need to spend money on the team to keep it winning to afford to pay the debt on the new stand.
It's always been a financially risky strategy, but Morris is a risk-taker by profession.
£2 please, sir.
£2 grand? You should be giving me the 200 quid you owe me for telling me not to go to Edinburgh yesterday.
I've always held a bookmaker's permit. I don't have a chalk and a board. I stand on the rails, which is in the members' enclosure, and in a rather quieter, more subtle manner, trade as a rails bookmaker.
I've lost some horse racing, just one there, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I think Barry's in front.
If he is a gambler, he's a damn good one, because all the risks he takes appear to pay off. All the players he's signed over the years have all been astute signings. Compared to some other clubs who have spent millions of pounds and basically not met with much success, every time Wigan dabble in the transfer market, they seem to come up with players who are great value for money.
No one has proved better value than Sean Edwards. A brilliant schoolboy international, Morris snapped him up on his 17th birthday before any other club had a chance. Within a week, he was in the first team, where he's remained ever since. At 25, he's at his peak, already a veteran international and the archetypal Wigan professional.
Got to have tunnel vision and controlled aggression, both to stick to the game plan and to get stuck in, you know, when it gets hard.
His professionalism has brought Sean 18 championship medals, as well as 10 broken noses and, in this match, 2 broken ribs.
Sometimes I can't play in the lesser games, but the big games, you get a bit of a buzz out of it, especially when there's a big crowd on, and you think you've got something to prove, and that's what motivates me to play. I've got something to prove.
For Sean, the 1990 Wembley final turned into a chance to prove more than he'd intended.
After about 8 minutes, put a kick through, but this guy come and hit me late.
Oh, that's obstruction, surely. Well, just watch this, what happens here. Sean Edwards, a lovely little chip over the top here. Now watch what happens if he kicks it. Bang, down he goes.
Time I thought I'd been hit with an elbow, and I broke my eye socket in multiple places. It's all smashed up, and I had a severe depression in my cheekbone. And I knew straight away what I'd done, even before I hit the ground, because I could just feel all my face was like caved in. Our physio wanted me to come off, but I didn't want the opposition to know that they could get me out of it just with it smashing my face up. I didn't want them to know that it could hurt me. They were trying to do me 2 times before in the game, and it's quite obvious what the tactics were. They was trying to get me out of the game, but I just wasn't having it.
Down the middle, that's the ball to Edwards.
I said I could have, if I got another bad bang in it, I could have been blind. I suppose me, I'm just a bit of a psycho sometimes.
To the sticks, to the sticks!
The reason they are champion players is they're a little different from everybody else. And, you know, maybe I'm a little different from everybody else as well. When the team's going well and the players are getting plenty of good publicity, they don't need another slap on the back from the coach. I think that's the time when a coach has to be critical, and you've got to pick out their faults, and you've got to say, look, you know, everybody's saying how good we are, but let's just hold it a minute and have a look. Can we improve?
John Money and his team have just 5 days training left before the Wembley final.
When it comes to the crunch, execution is probably the thing that wins the game. We've got a team that can execute under pressure, I feel, as well as any team that I've ever coached. So a lot of that execution comes back to how you practice. You must keep practicing till the execution's spot on.
everybody knows that they don't mess around with John Mooney, and we're all the same to John, and John will drop you just like that if he wants to. There's so many good players down there that can take your position. That's why people play well week in, week out, whereas at other clubs, you're more or less guaranteed your position if you're a first-teamer. And if you're playing bad, you're going through a bad spell, you carry on playing and playing, you're playing. We're at Wigan, they don't. It's deadly serious because they're getting paid to do a job, and if you don't do your job, you lose your job, and that's as easy as that.
Billy is Wigan's most recent signing. A year ago, he was working in his parents' pub, playing at Warrington, and watching his career drift downhill. Wigan spotted his potential, bought him, and now, as well as being in the Great Britain squad, he's looking forward to a Wembley final, and with it, the biggest payday of his life.
I signed for Wigan. I knew that if I could get in the first team, I could make a lot of money just by playing in the first team and getting winning bonuses. And as it is, that's what's happened.
What's Wembley going to be worth? And it's quite a lot.
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's going to be around £6,000.
The rewards for the Wigan team are the best in rugby league. The top players earn well over £100,000 a year, but most of that is made up of winning bonuses. To make big money, they must win the big matches, and none is bigger than the Challenge Cup at Wembley in 2 days' time. They have now won their last 22 games and haven't been beaten in the Challenge Cup since 1987. They are expected to win at Wembley again, but for John Mooney and the Wigan board, being such hot favourites is not entirely comfortable.
The thing that I'm worried about with Castleford is that people have written them off.
I think you're going to expect a hard game, though, John, won't you, with Castleford?
Well, the motivation's going to be there with Castleford because everybody's told them all week they haven't got any chance. For any football team, that's the greatest motivation you can have when everybody says, why are you turning up, you can't win. I mean, I wish they were saying that about us, but they're not. So Castleford will be really fired up and it'll be a tough opening. We'll see what happens on the day.
Well, it's in the luck of the gods.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, man.
Okay, thank you.
The team travel down to London 2 days before the final. And in what is now becoming an annual ritual, the supporters turn out to see them off. The fans have grown used to their team winning.
It's expected of us. I mean, the fans expect it of us. I suppose they're a bit spoiled, really, but sooner or later we are going to lose. Hopefully it's not at Wembley. I mean, that's what spurs me on, the fear of losing. You know, I would hate to think that I'm going there as captain and the first captain in 5 years to lose. That spurs me on, the fear.
Fear of failure has been probably my greatest motivation throughout the 10 years. We've had defeats and they've hurt badly, but we've bounced back and we've improved from it. We lost at Wembley in '84, and I have to admit that I choked. I literally had to go somewhere and sort of fight back the tears because I didn't want anybody to see how emotionally hurt I was, because Wembley can do that to you. Wembley played somewhere near our potential, but we just weren't good enough. We strengthened the side and we went back with a better side, and we've been taking good sides down there ever since. Because having tasted bitter defeat, I know how much it hurts and how long it stays with you.
Wembley Stadium, May the 1st, the day before the Challenge Cup final.
Just in case. Neil, please.
This one? There we are.
I'm pressing it. Okay.
That worked.
That's the thing.
Thank you.
That's the...
You right, boys? You finished?
Yeah.
Okay.
See ya. See you tomorrow. Good luck. I won't need it.
Radio Lancashire, #1 for sport.
Norman Prince.
Well, D-Day's arrived when 40,000 red and white rugby fanatics from Wigan are departing from our beloved county to make that all-too-familiar journey down the M6 motorway to the Twin Towers of Wembley, now regarded as the Cherry and White's second home, as they've proved over this past season, being World Club Champions, World Sevens Champions and Championship winners. They're simply the best.
Everybody wrote us off again at Christmas. But where are we again? Wembley. The magical towers.
Once we get this close to the event, it's tough for me because my job's over now. I've prepared the side, I've put the plays in that we think will work, and it's all over really. It's sit around, wait with the rest of the guys.
Ready? No. Joe.
Leaving Wigan. Remember, last one out of the town, turn the light out.
Just got to get your head right, you know, the morning of the game. I'm not the kind of person who gets like psyched up for days before a game, really. The morning of a game, I start thinking about it. I'm usually pretty quiet before a game, and I think, well, it's my day of work today. You know what I mean? I've got to think and concentrate.
Two away, Warrington. Two away, Warrington. Turn up.
3 by 3.
Platty. And spin, mate. If I shoot it, it's not on.
And we're doing winger in march.
Winger in march. Just give it the winger.
Tail.
Winger in tail.
Catch the tail.
But like what we, you know, when we played at Leeds and we
Don't get on first, and we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll run from the scrum over, won't they?
How far back?
Yeah, I'm done with that. That's right back to green.
Never mind the atmosphere, never mind nothing. Just think about them 13 we're playing against.
We've been here before, we know what to expect.
The occasion at Wembley is big enough to put anybody over the top emotionally. We've seen it happen at a lot of Wembleys where players go out and they just don't perform for 20 minutes. They get lost for half an hour where they can't get in the game, and that's only because of the emotion that's generated by the event. And so on the day, I always find with the big games, what you've got to do is calm the players down. You don't have to build them up.
Yeah, right on the table as well.
I've been very nervous all week because I'm always terrified of losing. It's wonderful to be chairman of a side that's accomplished so much, but we're only as good as your last game. It's the fear of failure that drives us on.
It's the 1992 Silk Cut Challenge Cup final. Please welcome Castleford and Wigan.
Fans now urging them on. Certainly a new life around this Yorkshire side. It's a try! And Carter for the back! Before Wigan nothing. 19 points to 4. The pass. Here's an overlap on this outside. To Wigan. Cuts him inside. Yes! It is in at the corner. Wigan come back. Will they move it? Another 6 touches. Beautiful play. It's a try. soul from Owatika. Very, very accomplished goal kicker. Ranks them from the touchline, and none better than that. The hooter goes, and Wigan, the Challenge Cup winners for the 5th consecutive year, 28 points to 12. You must be a pleased man, Chair.
I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted.
Guess what?
I'm pleased for the coach, I'm pleased for the boys.
They've done well.
It's an incredible performance, really.
Incredible team.
It's not just the 5 Silk Cup trophies on the trot, it's the fact they've done the league and the cup double 3 years running.
3 years at a time.
And that's
Congratulations.
I voted for you. I voted for you.
Let's do it, Mr. Major.
He's okay. They
Nice
made
to
the
see
break.
you.
They got the first try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Labour.
What's the story behind that?
Oh, it's just
It was
a
drunk
brand
one
we
day.
get. All the phones got a brand. Get a forward.
That'll teach you to drop the ball.
Stevie Hampson out full back.
Stevie Hampson.
Hi, Stevie. Well done.
He's a full-back. He's a
Must be
great,
very pleased with that
Great
outcome.
Britain full-back as well.
Yeah, but been hard the last 5 years.
Was there any wind out there with the high balls?
No, straight down the rain.
Twickenham, I'm used to them twirling all over the place, but they seem to come.
Bit of a boring game, though, isn't it?
You're speaking to a member of Harlequins who was here today and not at Twickenham.
Should have been at Twickenham, so I think.
Congratulations. Well, congratulations. Thanks.
That's tremendous.
I'm sorry Chelsea couldn't do the double.
Go away. Well done. That was fabulous performance. We must be very proud of the team. Okay.
Nice to see you, John.
Thank you.
Pineapple ring.
Last time I eat pineapple.
On Sunday afternoon, can Nigel Mansell make it 6 in a row at Monaco?
Go!
The Monaco Grand Prix, live on Sunday Grandstand, starting at 12:30 on BBC Two.
To the brave heart, nothing is impossible.
6 poets.
We're too old for this, I shout. There's no way out, no way out.
6 personal documentaries.
Not the 18 months, but the criminal damage. And the smell of the cabbage.
On film.
We are working undercover. We are making in our homes devices of detachment as dangerous as bombs.
Where words and images collide. Words on Film beginning next Friday, 9:30 on 2. A wife returned from the grave, a promise betrayed, and seduction by the femme fatale of the afterlife. The Dead Can't Lie on BBC One in 20 minutes, except in Northern Ireland.
Good evening and welcome to the 6th show in the series of what many people regard as 10. In the news this week, controversy in religious circles as Bishop Carey tries to flog the Pope a set of 6 genuine holy grails. Sport, and Gary Lineker has second thoughts about his move to Japan after seeing the team strip he'll have to wear. And Michael Burke is sacked by the BBC after trying to mate with an ostrich. Something to bear in mind when you next see him read the news. On Ian Hislop's team, someone who is both a football fan and a comedian, and to prove it, he supports Millwall, Danny Baker. And with Paul Merton this week, someone who's been in both Sooty and Roland Rat, and his court case comes up next week, comedian Steve Steen.
I've done that, and I was in the ostrich as well.
So let's tear madly into round one. 2 pieces of film footage per duo. Ian and Danny, a dark horse for you to identify.
Delivery of American stuff.
That was Ross Perot. There's a lot of interest in him because he's a millionaire and he knows nothing about politics, which means he's the same as all the other presidents.
Who's that being delivered? So it's one of those agencies, you know, a crack agency. Your drug's delivered in 30 minutes or the fix is free. Piled up the doorstep.
Yes, it is. It's billionaire US businessman Ross Perot who's taken the lead in the presidential opinion polls on the slogan, "Trust Perot, he's too rich to steal." Tell that to Robert Maxwell's employees. Mr. Perot, whom I'm sure many will remember as the little old man all the girls used to chase after on the Benny Hill show, emerged as favourite this week after President Bush's #2, Dan Quayle, blamed the entire LA riots on sitcom actress Candice Bergen, a bit like blaming Brixton riots on Donald Sinden.
He did lob a few petrol bombs.
Oh, he did, yeah.
To be fair.
Paul and Steve, where's this green and pleasant land?
The hosepipe ban that's length and breadth of the country from Newcastle down to just below Newcastle.
Prince Charles actually solved this problem today. There was a wonderful clip of him. He was about to say there's a terrible water shortage and we really need some rain, and apparently it started raining.
Yeah, it did the whole way up.
Banging in on the sides.
Well, I did my part around the back of the studio for irrigation just before we came on the air. So,
if only more people in Britain felt like that.
The government is now urging people to share a bath. In fact, Paddy Ashdown has already volunteered. And Prince Charles, champion of environmental causes, suggests simple water-saving methods, such as not watering your garden. Yes, it's a good way of caring for nature. Kill it.
I think they've stopped putting water in Prince Margaret's gin, which is a good sign.
This drought is apparently the worst for 250 years, although quite how we know what the weather was like in 1742, I don't know. Presumably the town crier would say, "Here endeth the news," and now here's the Earl of Ketley with the weather. Brought to you by Powergen. Ian and Danny, spot the barrel of Newcastle export.
Paul Gascoigne, who this week joined Lazio. Or, in fact, I think he joined ITV, fighting back against Sky Sports.
Who is Paul Gascoigne?
He is a footballer, my lad. A footballer, my lad, of some note and gurning capability. Yeah, ITV...
Is that association football or rugby?
Football. Yes, he's joined Lazio, and we saw the shareholders in Bupa going wild, him there, the fatted calf returned home. But he finally signed for him, didn't he, after 100 years this week?
Spurs manager Terry Venables said watching him go was like watching your mother-in-law driving off a cliff in your new car. That's a mixture of terror and terror, then. His new manager at Lazio, Maurizio Mancini, said, "After 15 months, I feel like a father who has been awaiting the arrival of a baby." Little does he know how right he is. Paul and Steve, get your joss sticks out.
Oh, down Sassoon's worrying his friends.
Yep. There's Gaza. No, there's Gaza. This is the free festival that happened a little while ago, during the drought.
It's a delightful rural scene, isn't it? Mm-hmm. People who care so much about the environment, they fill it full of shit and condoms. Used needles and old crisp packets.
Yes, it's all about the hippie convoy that's descended uninvited on the Worcestershire village of Castle Morton. The invasion took the local police completely by surprise, but Sergeant Mike Nichols said that police will not be assessing why their intelligence broke down. Well, they've never bothered in the past, have they? 25,000 hippies have now defecated in the fields and gardens of Castle Morton. 19-year-old Sandra Johnson explained, "We just want to enjoy ourselves. If they had put up toilets, we wouldn't have messed the fields." Who are they? The sheep? As for the local community, one farmer said, "I keep my shotgun by my bed and I haven't slept for 2 nights." Well, keep it somewhere else then. On which far-out note, we bring this first round to a cosmic end, and it would appear that, well, both teams have got off to an equally flying start, as Paul and Steve and Ian and Danny have a similarly replete 4. Round 2, Hove's interview, but before we embark, a brief moment's thought for our caption competition. One potentially amusing photograph per team. Ian and Danny, this is yours. Paul and Steve, this for you. And in the next 20 or 25 minutes, whichever is the longer, they must concoct an amusing caption or two. And while they muse, we move deftly into our second round, which takes place in the headline world of seedy tabloids. One each to explain. Paul. Ants hold secret to bug-free BT system.
I don't really know what this is about.
Oh, that's a shame.
But is it something to do with the fact that the behaviour of ants, the way they carry out tasks among themselves, has convinced BT to adapt their software to solve various problems that might occur within the system?
I'm glad you didn't know what it's about.
Yeah, judging just from what's there, you know.
Does the Queen Ant get a salary of about £500 million a year? A sort of Syrian Valance ant in the middle, stuffed full of honey and royal jelly and honey.
You become an extremely bitter man.
What is it about ants that you hate so much? Yes, I'm afraid you're right.
No.
As far as I have to tell you, it's British Telecom who plan to revolutionise the way they operate their telephone system by studying the behaviour of ants. So if your phone starts to play up, just pour a kettle of boiling water down it. The new BT system is based on a handful of rules that control ants as they forage for food. Apparently, if they find food, they take it home. If they cross a trail left by another ant, they follow the trail until they find food. If they find nothing, they wander around until they do. Much the same set of rules governing Glaswegians and pubs. Steve, why are the uglies sitting pretty?
Yes. They're 2 points ahead at the moment.
Yes. The uglies...
I think this has just become a grudge match.
I think it is, yeah. Let me roll up the sleeves. Hang on.